Alone. Uh. No. Hey, how are you?
Boyfriend's a rapper. Of course I gotta listen to all these songs about these hoes he just don't got. Cause it's just me. Right?
Yeah, you're right.
My boyfriend's a rapper. Of course all his friends is rappers too. We all making it out the hood together. My boyfriend's a rapper. Of course I'm just window shopping. Cause who fin about it? My boyfriend's a rapper. Of course I gotta work 3 jobs just until his career takes off. One day. My boyfriend's a rapper. Of course when I play his songs for my friends, they tell me to leave him. But I'm not. Because I'm loyal and we're getting out the hood. One day.
And all your friends some hoes.
Don't watch your mouth. My boyfriend's a rapper. Of course when he's talking about big booty bitches, he's still talking about me because that thing is still thangin'. Anyway. What's the fuck is so funny?
I mean, it's thinking. You thick.
So why you laugh? My boyfriend's a rapper. Of course.
Like I said, I mean, I guess real quick, just to kind of double down on some of the I told you so's from last week. I told y'all so about that No Kid song. I don't necessarily know. Like like I said, I think I said this last year and I'm gonna say it this year. I'm gonna start lying and just sitting here saying that I'm like I went to school for psychology of humans, bro. I'm telling you, I don't know why y'all be thinking I be lying. How long I really be sitting on social media all day. I knew for a fact that song was going to hit just because I know how people on social media react. Like they just can't help themselves. Like it's just it's absolutely it's gonna be some things that's just gonna be undeniable, so they don't have no choice but to just you got to kind of get with the program, especially if you're trying to actually create content via social media. So I already knew that No Kid song was going to do what it was supposed to do, and I guess one of those things that we was talking about last week while we was recording in real time was the plane crashing. So I mean, of course, I'm sure for most people, if you maybe not living under a rock, you seen what was that? Was that Delta? I believe Delta had a plane literally the day after we recorded. Like we literally was talking about that on Sunday, and it literally was a plane crash on Monday, and the plane literally flipped upside down. And of course, Delta now is offering people $30,000. If they, I don't even necessarily say if they, I don't know. I mean, of course, nobody don't know what the paperwork going to look like because the story is just the $30,000, and of course, they got people sitting here saying that they wouldn't take it. And then there's some people who I ain't gonna lie to you. If I was on that plane, I'm taking the 30, especially if I didn't get hurt. Like if I didn't have the, why not?
Nigga, 30,000? You didn't even say you could fly for free for the rest of your life.
Man, I might not never want to get on a plane again. You talking about fly for the rest of your life?
My point. So you only getting 30,000, nigga? That's not even a car.
I don't care. I'm taking the 30 bands.
You take anything.
Nigga. Yeah, well, I ain't saying I won't. I'm not about to be acting like I'm one of the people who too good to sit here and say, let me play this clip of this dude who's on the job.
It's one of those things we got to see what they determine caused the crash, right? They obviously have a responsibility, right? And I don't know the laws. I don't know how these things work, right? So that's why I seek, advice from an attorney that can advise me as I navigate this process. I have received the communication regarding the $30,000. I have forwarded it to my attorney for review to understand what it is, what it means, etc. As far as is it fair? you know, I haven't slept in days. You know, the emotional stress, I almost can't explain it. Is my mental health worth $30,000? Can you put a price tag on that? I don't know. I don't have.
Real quick. I know how. Let's be clear. This is, you know what's so funny about that, because y'all are sitting here saying no because it's a plane, but you don't get on planes as much as you get in a car. So realistically, if we keep it in a beam, if you got in a car accident right now and you got $30,000, you will be geeked. It's not one person who can hear the sound of my voice right now. God forbid, knock on wood. If you was in a car accident
and you got to buy a new car, so you got a new.
No, screw this new car. We talking about just
act like we have real life, dog. $30,000. That's not even a year payment.
Marcus, I hear what you're saying, but I don't. If somebody get in a car accident today and they sit here and say, okay, well, after I'm not talking about your car gonna get okay.
No,
cool.
You had to pay you had to buy a new car. You had to put a new payment on a car. If your car got crashed, if your car was worth $30,000, you get in a car accident, right? So now you got to go buy a new car. No,
you're missing what I'm saying. We taking that part out. We take
okay, don't take it out.
You ain't buying a new plane. What are you talking about?
But listen, but that's what I'm saying. But your life, if that plane did not land, you would not be here for the $30,000. So you're going to accept $30,000. That's not enough. You almost lost your life.
Almost, that don't count.
Right, so almost don't count, dog. How much they making? You talking about 30,000 is okay?
Man, you know how much stuff you done and you almost lost your life. You still kept doing, and you for free. You been to go-go's before and they been shot up? Yes or no?
Nah. No. What are you talking about?
You never been to a go-go and they been shot up before?
In a go-go?
Yes.
They've been shot up in a go-go? No.
Nigga, you was right beside me when we went to go see UCB. What are you talking about?
No. Dog, in the go-go, they got shot up outside. No, dog, come on, man, stop, dog. Just put some, dog. You want to accept 30,000? That's cool.
Go-go's for free. Almost got killed in outside.
No, that did not almost nothing, dog. You come on, almost, dog. You was in a plane crash. The plane flipped over.
Hey, listen to what I'm saying. You could have hit for this for everybody who listening. All y'all got, please Google UCB get shot up at the Metro Club. Marcus was there.
I was not there that night at the Metro Club. I was not there. You talking about? I thought you talking about the pool party. I was not there. I didn't go. I wasn't old enough to go into no damn club. And then
for real?
Metro, yes, I was not there.
You ain't go with me?
No, I did not, nigga.
Oh, I thought you went. Well, I've been. No,
that's what I'm talking about. Like that.
I've been into. Listen to what I'm saying. I have least in life. And I'm not saying this bragging. I've at least in life been in 20 incidents where it could have been life or death and ain't nobody offered me a goddamn dollar. So all I'm sitting here telling you is, if I'm on a plane and I leave, I ain't have to go to the hot dog. They know how many people got to go through. And listen to what I'm saying. And this is what we're talking about. This is why I seen that people over exaggerate stuff and you gaslight the money because it was in an airplane crash and not a car crash. No, people fake and go through physical therapy when they get in a car accident. Realistically, knowing you just wasting time, but you only going through the therapy. And people do that trying to get 10 bands.
But that's what but you talking about a car accident compared to a business who's making 10 times that.
I'm taking it.
And you get taxed for that 30,000. Like, no, if you would have told me 300,000, all right, cool, we might be able to talk something.
You act like you died, though. You didn't even die.
You almost died. What do you mean?
Stress. It's all.
You just said you're not gonna get back on a plane, so you're traumatized. No, you're not gonna get back in the car, right? If you get in a car accident, you're going to get back in the car.
Of course you will,
right?
And so there's people who literally get in car accidents every day and may not get 30,000. If it's your fault, you ain't getting nothing.
But that's
still gotta buy a new car.
Right. So this is a company. You was not driving,
and it's your fault. Guess what? You get $0, dog.
But you're not driving, right? This is a company. You're in a company, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you was on the Metro bus and the Metro bus getting an accident, you want some money out of it, right?
If it's life, if you almost die. These people ain't died. This plane just flipped over.
You could have died.
You did that. You damn near.
Could have, should have, would have, but you didn't.
Oh, well, I'm not
taking no 30,000, nigga. You selling your soul for anything? Then if you taking 30,000,
it's Delta. Like, you know how long
how much money they be making? Come on, man. That's crazy.
That's what I'm saying. You taking a free 30 bags. You ain't got
to get a lawyer. Soul Plane, right?
Nothing. Yes, I saw you.
And he got his butt stuck in there. And how much he got? All right,
I hear you, but guess what? You ain't have to go. You ain't have to get no lawyer. The same way when people sitting here talking about ASAP Rocky. Oh, look, a girl tweeted me. Oh, look at you. Don't you need to apologize? You don't got egg on your face? No, because I'm not going to carry a gun if I can't do fucking a punk for 12 months. Like, what are we talking? I mean, matter of fact, it wasn't 12 months. It was 6 months, bro. You should not, as a grown man and with an adult functioning brain, you should not be carrying a gun if you're not willing to at least do a year. And that's a minimum in most cities. Like, if you get caught in DC with a gun, even if it's registered, because you ain't supposed to have one, you're going to at least do a year to 2 years. So you can't be carrying like this. Is what I'm saying. I think sometimes when people just be unrealistic with certain things, I'm telling you, if I was on that plane, I'm taking that free 30,000. Now that may be put in my clause like, hey, you can't tax this. I need this to be tax free.
No, that's what I'm saying.
You're not about to tax me for my 30. And
that's what I'm saying. So you wanted to? I want more. I know you making more than that.
Yeah, if it's a free 30 bands, I'm taking the free 30. Because they ain't sitting here saying you still can't sue, because now you sitting here saying you
know that you cannot sue. If I'm giving you this 30,000, that's it.
Cool. I'm taking.
That's just like for the government when they say they payout. That's it.
So question: how much do you? Because guess what? Because all of that sound cool, but guess what? Just look at all the people who realistically, I'm sure,
and you're gonna blow through that 30,000.
I guess you're gonna blow through whatever, regardless. All I'm just sitting here saying is think about how many. One thing we know about corporate America, bro. They know how to finesse things. Look at how many people out of homes in California because of whatever loopholes was in the insurance companies dropping them. I'm sure because guess what? You don't be reading what them little flying prints be when y'all be clicking these when you buy your tickets.
That was the case. They wouldn't have offered them $30,000.
They try to all because they know that you're gonna whip their ass in court.
I hear y'all.
That's why I'm saying I'm not selling for no 30,000. I'm sorry.
I hear you.
That's crackhead money right there.
I get it, but you're not necessarily you don't know how much you're gonna get because most of the time
you're going to get something. What do you mean? You're going to get more than that.
So how much I think people gonna get?
What?
80, I don't know how many people
take this to court. I'm getting shit at least an M. At least that's a company
accident.
It was not we just sit here and say how many accidents have happened. That was in this year only what? How many happened? Out of how many years have they been in an accident?
Bro,
you ain't heard that many plane crashes until this year.
I'm taking the 30 bands.
You tripping?
Cool. I'm taking if I don't have to use no lawyer and you telling me the money is tax free, I'm taking
it's not tax free.
You don't have to use a lawyer.
And you can't sue me after that. So all you get is this maybe 20,000.
It's I guarantee it's probably written in the clause that you can't.
Yeah, you can't say nothing else. You can't talk nothing about it. You can't even do a press conference.
I hear what y'all saying, but all I'm just sitting here saying is that morning, all you was trying to do was go to your flight, go to wherever you was. You wasn't expecting to get this free.
You landed.
Oh, that's cool. Let's see his. That's even my point. Even you still made it to your destination.
So hold up. Okay, so let me. All right. So no, hold up. You flew out. You flew out to go see Shorty in Toronto, right? Mm-hmm. Now you still got to go back home. You still got to go to work or whatever you got to do. You still got to go back home. Are you about to get back on a plane and fly back?
Yes.
But that's my thing. But you're not gonna be traumatized.
No, listen to what I'm saying. You do. Let's be real. You know how many every day most people, not every day, but especially if you commute to work, I'm sure you've seen bad accidents.
Yes, we all seen accidents.
We even bring it even. Let's bring it even home to the DMV. Now think about how many people. Because I just seen a crash on Suitland Parkway. I think it was just people talking about it. I seen people in the comments because that's everybody in the comments was right. That's why I don't ride on Suitland Parkway. This and the third. So rest in peace to whoever lost their life recently on Suitland Parkway. But that's a thing. It's some people in the DMV who will not drive on Suitland Parkway because they know so many people who have died on Suitland Parkway. Like I'm sure somebody who listens to my voice right now, and they may know more than one person. They may know like 2 or 3 people who have died on Suitland Parkway. But guess what people still do? Get on Suitland Parkway every day.
But I guess I tell you one thing: if you call Attorney Big Al, you would have got more than 30,000.
Guess what? Again, because Attorney Big Al gonna want a piece of that. I'm cool. If you
right, but you sitting here saying I'm gonna settle for 30,000 off of a company like that.
Because guess what I'm saying? Because you're saying
you're tripping.
That's what you're doing. You pocket watching Delta. Before I got on that plane, I wasn't expecting to get 30.
Pocket watching anything? That's a company.
I'm taking that 30.
Before you got
if you slip in a grocery store,
listen what I'm saying. If I steal, so listen, perfect example. So listen,
if you slip in a grocery store, what you want? You just want some free Spanish or something.
Knock on wood. Something real bad, really bad would have to happen to me for me to think about sitting here trying to sue somebody, dog.
That plane crash was bad. What do you mean? It could have been fatal. How is that not bad?
I know it could have been, but it wasn't.
So what's the worst? What's the worst? Like I don't.
And you just sit here. We talk. What was the joint where the people got paid and you was like, oh well, at least I left my family some money. The dude died. I forgot what it was.
Oh, it was on the roller coaster. Yeah, one of them rides.
Roller coaster when the dude fell out. Sure. So that's what I'm saying. So that wasn't even a big time. That was a carnival shit. And you talk about this is a mega company who sees way more money.
He had to lose his life. You ain't still got to go. You got all
you
that
almost.
Plane, you still got to go wherever you was going.
You still traumatized. You don't know how traumatizing. You might need some type of therapy or something. Maybe you had your kids with you, and they traumatized, and they got it like you. I'm not taking
you tripping.
I hear y'all.
Shit. You ain't even gonna tell me I get first class seats for the rest of my life. Nothing. You talking about
guess what?
30,000.
You know how often I don't get on the plane, so that free 30 bands is gonna go smack in my pocket. But just in other news, real quick, while we talking about things that people were super out. I got a video right now on TikTok that's going viral right now, and there's so many men that's like, I wouldn't sit here and call another man about if he cheated on my wife. Let me tell y'all something. Just two.
Hey, we gonna talk about you too. Go ahead.
So this is what Steve five. Listen to what I'm saying. I get this is the difference. And
You would have called him?
Would I have called Steve Smith?
Yeah.
I probably would have. If I would have seen it, I probably would have. For people who don't know, we're talking about Steve Smith. I'm gonna play the clip. But so Steve Smith cheated on this. He cheated on his wife with another man's wife. And the man, I guess, seen the text messages via, of course, going through his wife's phone, looking at the text messages. Steve Smith sending a bunch of pictures to the girl. They having all their text messages like super, like on the horny tip. Like, so dude called Steve Smith, and I'm gonna play the clip of dude calling Steve Smith.
Hey, yo, Steve.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you been fucking my wife, bro. What you gotta say for yourself?
I'm sorry.
You're sorry?
What he answer?
You fucking knew she was married.
Man.
You're not a fucking idiot, man. You're fucking Steve Smith Sr. What kind of dumb shit was that? Why are you quiet, man? Be a fucking man. Steve. You ain't a fucking man, bro. All that shit you do on fucking TV, all that shit talking you do to other people. Now someone's got you on the fucking phone, you can't even fucking man up.
You called him like a female.
No, that's his wife. What are you talking about? He called him like a female.
Wife. Like, what are you confronting me for? Your problem should be with your wife, not
dog,
me.
Be a man. But you wouldn't say that to him in his face. You called him on the phone. Well, you could have met up to him.
You know what's so crazy? I thought the way Steve Smith talked, I thought Steve Smith was my size or bigger. Bro, are you crazy? I would have said it in his face. I would have smacked him. He talked crazy. I thought Steve Smith was
friends?
bigger.
Or were they friends?
I don't know. We ain't friends. You smashed my wife. So listen to what y'all saying. Y'all sitting here saying I wouldn't have called him. And I'm glad this is the two things that can happen with this one. It's a dude, realistic, and we can tie these two in together. It's a dude who drove 700 miles to burn somebody's house down because he found out who his ex-girlfriend was sleeping with. Bro, it's people out here who were willing to drag it. I'm not mad at Steve Smith the way he carried because he could have played big. You don't know how this man really feel. Dog, niggas kill people every day. Listen to what I'm saying, and I told people this on TikTok, and I just left it alone. Bro, there are, I'm sure, in the jail right now, in any jail, I don't care, across the world, prison, jail, whatever you want to say, I'm sure it's at least 35% of the people in there over something they crashed out because of a woman.
No. Here's my thing, right? You videoed all that, right? You called him, right? Cool. He married, right? Whatever. You put this on the blog, cool. His wife not leaving him, right?
I mean, you don't know that because
she's not leaving him, right? And your wife probably might go back to him. At the end of the day, you called him for what?
Because I need to make sure that this was for real. All you seen was text messages. You don't necessarily know if it was real.
You saw the text messages.
You saw it.
I wanted to double check and make sure. I need to double check and make sure because it wasn't like no news.
Then double check with your wife.
Like you calling him for what?
Commitment to you. Your wife made a commitment to you.
I hear what y'all saying, but y'all saying it real easy. Like somebody wouldn't beat the hell out of their wife. Then y'all be like, damn, why he beat his wife ass?
But my thing is, you called him for what?
Just to see if this was really Steve Smith.
Okay, it wasn't.
Might have been on some fanboy stuff. You got to look at it like he was like, damn.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's my thing. You called him for what? You're not gonna say, well, I want to fight you. I want to see you, nigga. You fucking my wife. You just called to see if it was him. That's it.
I'm sure he a little bit in shock. I'm not.
You're not in shock.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm not a Steve Smith fan. I don't even really like. I just know Steve Smith from and hearing Cam Newton talk about him. I don't really know. Like I didn't see him on TV, but it wasn't really like he played for the Panthers. I wasn't following his career, so I don't know. Like
he played for the Panthers
listen to what I'm saying. I thought Steve Smith was a bigger. The way he be talking, I thought he was a bigger man. And I said, let me Google and see.
He's a wide receiver. What you expect?
I didn't. I thought he was bigger than the way he be talking. I thought he was like
maybe
like 6'3", like 240, something crazy like that.
He's like Hines Ward. He's a solid, like, you come across the middle type of, like, I can take the hit. He's not a diva. He is I go across the middle. I take those hits.
185, bro. That was my skinniest I probably got during the pandemic.
Yeah, but you still not taking those hits. Just because that's the skinniest. Like I said, I think you get it twisted. Like I said, he's still an athlete. So at the end of the day, if you wasn't about to sit here and face him face to face and be like, dog, you fuck my wife, like, what is the point of you calling him?
I mean, I don't know how he was carry it afterwards. I mean, unless he just called him that day, though. You keep playing like niggas don't go to jail every day for killing people.
I hear you, but what that makes it right?
But no, you making it seem listen, you're missing what I'm saying. You trying to say doesn't make it right. You just made it like he was pussy because he called him. You don't necessarily know what he gonna do after that. He might have just.
But what was the point of you calling and videotape? Like my thing is,
because you still have to go to court. You still have to go to a lawyer. If you sit here saying, "Hey, now I want to file a divorce from my wife," you got to have some evidence that she was cheating. No, here go my evidence. I called this man. He answered the phone. He said, "Sorry, boom, whatever. This happened. He actually cheated. He slept with my wife." So now if I want to divorce my wife, then cool. I can divorce her and I don't got to give her no alimony or nothing because she sit here and cheated on me. I didn't cheat on her. What are you talking about? Like people still, you got to get divorced? I need some evidence. I need some proof more than just a text message. So yeah, so I called him and I video recorded me and I try to get him fired from his job for cheating. Or even if it don't, I try to blow up his house or maybe his wife may want to leave him. I don't necessarily know. I don't know his wife. I don't know Steve Smith's wife. I don't follow Steve Smith. I don't know. All I'm just sitting here telling you is it's two ways that this could have carried it. Like I said, it's somebody who rode 700 miles. Though you know how far 700 miles is to burn somebody's house down. For being with his ex, they not even together no more. I'm telling you, like y'all, you making it seem like that to me was the okay
that's being you insecure, though.
Man, you keep saying it's insecure, though.
Y'all need to grow, though.
People deal with love differently, bro. Everybody takes it here and be like, "Oh, I'm cool. I can just take it on the chin." Everybody not like that. You may not never really been in love before. If you sit here and see some of these things, and you be like, "Oh, I don't care. This wouldn't have did nothing to me." All right, well, cool. That's you. Listen, what I'm telling you. Just Google how many people are in jail right now behind some domestic violence after their person that left them.
But that's my thing. Even like last week when you was talking, like you keep saying in love or whatever the case may be. Cool, that's fine, right? If you saying I have never been loved, I don't experience love. But at the end of the day, I did what I did. But I don't regret anything that I did. And I'm not about to sit here and be like, "Oh, I'm just some good Samaritan." I'm not a good Samaritan. I've slept with married women. I've did all that. But my thing is you sitting here like, "Oh, well, why are you doing?" Like, dog, you're a man, right? You're going to move on about your day. You can't sit here, though. If you him, you're not worried about it, right?
Okay.
If you sit here, you brag about you slept with 600 women, but you sit here complaining about one woman that you fell in love with. You can't move on.
If you ain't never been shot at before, I just advise you to keep your dick in your pants, then, Jack. That's all I'm saying. You sound that shit sound cool.
Well, she ain't even feel you. She slept with another nigga.
Well, cool. I mean that's fine. Like I said, it's people in jail every day for you make it. You talk like and people. And I wish I stopped DMing me when Marcus keeps saying stupid shit like this. DM him.
Good. You can DM me. At the end of the day, like I said, the old boy over here, he ain't him.
He might not be. Who said he was? Nobody said he was. Do he look like he was him? What are you saying?
I wasn't talking about him. I'm talking about you.
Guess what? Listen to what I'm telling you. You're not. If you're Steve Smith, I guarantee if you cheat on my wife, I'm gonna smack the shit out you.
You're not.
Okay.
Because you called me. You just called me. You should just showed up in my job then. You know where I work at.
Man, nigga, shut the fuck up, Marcus. Now you just
because you just sitting there talking about.
Now you just talking. All right, dog. I don't want to talk.
He is famous, right?
Yes. So how am I gonna get to him?
So then, what did you call him for?
I hope he kills Steve Smith now.
He ain't. All right. You just called him just to go clout. Like, come on, dog.
Nigga, what did his wife look like? Cheating on his wife. What the fuck are you talking about, dog? Listen to what you're saying. Because nigga, I want proof. What do you mean? How, nigga?
So did you send it to lawyer? You put it on social media. Your lawyer's not on social media.
He was trying to get him fired and he just blew up his house. I'm sure you think Steve Smith's wife knew he was cheating?
All right. And if he don't get fired, then what?
Okay, he probably won't because he ain't break the law.
Then that's why I said you did it for clout.
I guess. I don't know who the fuck want clout like that. That doesn't even make sense. Like, why would I want clout for?
But if you on man time, you would have been about your business. You would have went and did what you had to do. You're not going to sit here posting on social media talking about, "Well, I need to show evidence." Nigga, you would have went here and smacked this nigga or pressed him out. Dog, live life. What the hell y'all be doing?
Yeah, you keep your dick in your pants. You got kids,
good.
So
man, I'm good. I'm that dog. You don't have kids, and you sitting here heartbroken for fucking how many years? Get over the shit.
Who's heartbroken? I'm not. You act like this is my life experience. I'm just telling you. I know for a fact that this nigga's in jail right now because they crashed out behind a woman. And if you
then guess what? It's other women out there.
So what? Everybody don't feel like that.
Well,
like I told you've never been in love, and you should stop lying to people. Then you all the women that you have ever lied to, if you told them you love them, you are a fucking liar. Because you sit on this motherfucking mic like you just, my heart is just, I'm just ice cold nigga who just be knocking shit down. Nigga, please eat a dick. Like I'm not.
But you the same person said, "Well, I slept with 600 women and all that." You still crying,
dog. So what? So that's because I'm a real human being. I'm talking.
But then you still single.
Real emotion. So what do that mean? What did you?
Then, so you still hurt. So you still hurt. Then
what am I hurt from? Explain to me.
But you telling me I've never been hurt. But you
saying
I've never been in love, right?
Go ahead.
But I've had kids, right? So I'm not in love. I don't have feelings, right? I don't care about stuff, right? So what you saying is I can't move on. You can't move on. You've been in relationships, right? And that didn't last. So you saying you still holding on to those relationships because it didn't go out the way you wanted to go out?
Who's saying that?
Well, you just said that's what you're saying.
How am I saying that? Because I'm saying I'm agreeing with this man for crashing out. If that was me, I would took it further than what he did.
But
that's
why?
what I'm telling you.
But why? Thank you. This is a woman. But why?
Because it's my wife.
So then I mean
his girlfriend. This is his wife.
Right, but you're not solving nothing by confronting him. He didn't commit to you. So you will be okay if I would have just let's see if I seen the text messages, and if I was this man, and then the story would have been like, oh, it's a man in jail right now for from taking his wife's life because he found out that she was cheating with Steve Smith. That to you saying that sounds better. That's more because that's who I took my vow to. No,
that's why I made a promise to.
But then you did. It's just like when a female, like I'm not calling the other female to figure out why you messing with my husband or my boyfriend. Mm-hmm. I'm going directly to the source.
So listen to what I'm saying. So it would have been. So y'all basically.
I'm not saying no. Take somebody's life because they cheat on you.
Cool. Now let me be as dramatic. Not take her wife. I beat her ass like Diddy did Cass.
I don't condone that either. I understand that you
fight him. Go fight him. If you so mad, you call it somebody. Say, hey, Steve Smith, this you? Oh, you cheated. You fucked my wife. Why are you even calling? You had the address. She's texting them. They're going. You could have said, hey, call, like, hey, babe, I'm on my way. You could have made her call him and say, hey, babe, I'm going to meet you. And that could have been you in the car. And you could have pulled up and fucked them up. Like, that's what I'm just saying. You put it on social media for what? Like, that's some girl shit.
I hear you. Shout out to that man for not going to jail. I respect him for just calling Steve Smith and not taking it as far as he could have. Like I said, I had to Google Steve Smith's side just to make sure I wasn't tripping. Like I was like, damn, I swear I thought Steve Smith was like Shannon Sharp's size or something, or Cam Newton. I didn't know he was that small. I just honestly didn't know that. So again, like I said, shout out to that man for just calling and putting the joint on the. It could have went extremely left. Like I said, it's literally the same day this happened. There's a man who drove 700 miles and burnt somebody's house down. Like I said, everybody level of crash out ain't the same, and that's why Steve Smith didn't sit here and play big with that man because you don't know where that man mental piece is. It's easy to sit here and say, "Oh yeah, you went out like a pussy," but then he could have went in. What if he would have smoked Steve Smith? And Steve Smith would have been on the recipe. Niggas is out. It's athletes who have died, but for sleeping with other women for niggas' wives. What are we talking about? Like that happened. This is real life. Like this ain't like we making it seem like niggas don't kill athletes. Are you thinking athletes don't get killed?
My thing, if that's what you're going to do, and then if that's how you feel, right? If you're going to die for this, then do like at the end of the day, dog. But you sitting here saying, "Oh, I'm gonna sit here and call him, and then I'm gonna post this on social media just so everybody can talk about it."
Maybe that's obviously that was what he wanted to do. That was the reason why he did it. And that's why he added all them people when he did it. He added NFL Network, he added the Ravens, that was what he wanted to. I'm not that man. I can't tell him how to respond. All I'm just saying is he took the easier route because it could have went completely left. And you making it seem like because maybe you just a fucking fan of Steve Smith, like it couldn't have went further. I'm not a fan of Steve
Smith. But like I said, at the end of the day, if you about that life, then handle your business as a man.
Endless niggas about that life. Before this episode is over, I'm sure we'll get to other people being about that life and just crashing out for less. Where was it? It's a New York matter because we talking about football players. It's a Jets player who got robbed.
Taking a shocking turn, reports that a member of the New York Jets was followed home to New Jersey and then robbed at gunpoint. ABC's Faith Abube joins us with the details. Good morning, Faith.
Good morning to you, Rachel. Police say they received several 911 calls shortly after the robbery. The victims did not report any injuries. However, the initial investigation so far has shown that the Jets player and the person he was with were specifically targeted.
This morning, a new probe in the alarming string of robberies targeting high-profile athletes across the country. The latest victim, according to ESPN, a player for the New York Jets, reportedly robbed at gunpoint near his home in New Jersey. Police in Morristown say the suspects followed the unidentified player for 30 miles from Manhattan and got away with money and other personal belongings. Investigators believe it was an isolated incident, but it comes on the heels of a nationwide crime spree targeting high-profile athletes. Just this Friday, suspect Taekwon DeAndre Anderson arrested. Authorities allege he's one of 4 people who stole 3 luxury vehicles from the home of University of Miami quarterback Carson Beck. Police say Anderson confessed. He has been charged with burglary and grand theft and is currently being held without bond. Over the last few months, authorities accusing an alleged crime ring of stealing luxury items, including designer bags and jewelry, from the homes of Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Joe Burrow.
I feel like my privacy has been violated.
Prosecutors charging 7 Chilean nationals, 3 of them pictured here in the selfie, posing in front of a safe and expensive bags.
It's frustrating. It's disappointing.
The same group also accused in this brazen November break-in at the homes of Milwaukee Bucks player Bobby Portis. Surveillance video showing burglars smashing glass, taking a safe, and what appears to be another bag. They were charged in federal court with conspiracy to commit interstate transportation of stolen property, which carries a maximum of 10 years in prison.
You still have to lay your head where you got robbed at, and sometimes it's kind of disturbing.
And Geo, police are still looking for the group of men who targeted the Jets player and the person he was with. In the meantime, though, they're asking anyone with information to reach out to the Morristown Police Department. Geo.
All right, skip.
Now, if y'all think, and again, just to put a bow on that Steve Smith stuff, if you think a nigga can find out where Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, all of these people live at, and you think if a nigga really just was on some type of time, he couldn't push up on Steve Smith, all right. That's all I'm gonna tell you. You better live in the real world. You better start watching the news and actually paying attention to what's going on there. It's some real life demons out here.
But you called the motherfucker.
I mean, he's cool. He may not. It's a white dude. I don't really care. Like
that's what I'm just saying.
All I'm just saying is, for any man who's listening to my voice, there are men out here who not sit here and just sit here. So let me post it on social media. Cool. You're absolutely right. Yes, that man may go out of the wrong way. He shouldn't have probably. Okay, if you wanted to really be on some different type of time, and then cool. He may not be built like that. His revenge may have been, hey, I'm gonna post this via social media because I can't do nothing else to Steve Smith. I don't know how big this man is. I'm talking as a man who's 6'3", 240. I'm speaking at a completely different vantage point over talking to Steve Smith. This white man may be like $150 soaking wet, and he may be like 5'5". I don't necessarily know. I don't know. He's white. I'm sure that's his level of being a current. I'm not mad at him. But all I'm telling y'all is if you're listening to the sound of my voice and you think that you can just willy-nilly out here have sex with anybody's significant other, there's people out here who won't sit here and just be like, oh, I'm cool. I'm going to just try to get my
but that was my whole
media.
But that's my whole thing. It's just like, dog, you took social media to say that's my, I'm exposing this. Like, dog, that's some shit that females would do. Like, that's my only thing. That's my whole argument. If you was on man time, you would not be sitting here calling nobody.
I mean, he's white, so I mean, white people don't probably even know what man time is. So I'm not sitting here. I'm not holding no white person to the same standard that black people who sit here move off. I'm just telling y'all, to me, what he did was the smart thing. The way Steve Smith even answered the phone was the smart thing. That's all I'm saying.
Right, he's a smart thing. Yeah, that was smart. I would have did the same thing. I probably wouldn't even answered it.
I mean, you would have answered it if you would have thought it was the woman.
Right, but no, I would have been, hello, hey. If I don't hear her voice, no, I'm not saying nothing else.
Yeah, but then that's kind of pussy.
That's not pussy, nigga. You know how you moving. Like, what? I'm not about to sit here and incriminate myself if I'm sitting here cheating.
I mean, I hear you. But like I said, damn. Shout out to all those and John and Rob. I guess we could tie this into John Morant did get. I want to say he got hit with like when they said they got him for like almost $1 million worth of jewelry. I don't necessarily. And the crazy thing is, I mean, I don't know what these players. I don't even know how they find out where some of these players live at. Especially
it's not that hard.
I mean, I would think if I'm some of these athletes, I would put it in somebody else's name.
No,
so people wouldn't just be able to find where I live at.
Dog, just like that whole DJ Khaled with the casket dropping in front of their house and all that shit. Niggas know your address.
I mean, like I said,
your security should be a little bit more tighter and not allowing shit like that. But yeah, people can find it. Just like even with the Drake, when the Bama got shot.
I mean, but I think Drake stuff is different because Drake was actually at one point in time recording his house getting built from scratch. So people knew where he lived at. It was like a whole thing when he was getting the house built and whatever the case may be. So
but even but that's what I'm saying. But we in social media because like even a joint that I seen here, I seen it. They showed everybody. They even show I think what's Jalen Daniels' new house that he just bought. Like they people get those information.
I mean, yeah, I'm listening. I'm saying I'm not.
We in the day and station like you want to get people information. It's not that hard to get it.
Yeah, I think just me. I mean, I think it may be a little bit harder. I mean, of course, if everybody in your family all got the same last name and then you go buy a crazy house in that area, people would just probably do their Googles. But if I had somebody, if let's just say if you come across $500 million and I got somebody, even if I'm dating somebody and they got a different last name, I may just put the house in somebody else's name, dog, just so you can't be able to find me. That's my only thing I'm sitting here saying.
Shit ain't that easy.
I mean, I don't know. I never bought a house before, so I don't realistically. I'm not about to sit here and make it like I know the whole process on how it will work or how easy or how hard you can try to make it difficult on people. But it's
a lot of stuff like if you just sit here and put that money, if they never had that kind of money in their account and you put that in there, that's a flag.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't necessarily know what will be the steps for them to kind of avoid it, but it do just kind of seem crazy, and it seems like these people don't got no picks. I mean, of course, Patrick Mahomes. I mean, I'm about to say
because I mean, you think about all them people that had fucking stalkers, like Chris Brown, people that jump fit, like that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, but I be feeling like for some of them people, like somebody like Chris Brown type of dude who be having parties at his house all the time and stuff like that. So it's a little bit different. I understand.
What's different between an athlete?
I'm just saying, I'm going off of the athletes that they just talked about in that clip. When you talking about like a Joe Burrow, I don't think like. Joe Burrow just got a bunch of Joes. Nah, I just don't think Joe Burrow just don't seem like a type of nigga got a bunch of people just randomly coming to his house.
Yeah, but you still got fans. You still got fans.
What's my man name that just got suspended from Milwaukee because he was one of the people that played Bobby Porter. So I don't necessarily know. He may be having the weed man come to his house and everything. So I don't
like people have fans. I'm pretty sure people can find and just like, oh, I just dropped them off. Uber driver. Oh, I just dropped such and such off at Joe Burrow.
But that's what I'm saying. But even when you hear people, like when you hear celebrities talk about like that, they some of them times like even when they order from like some of those different
they use other names.
They use other names. So that's why I'm just saying. That's why I'm saying, like I said, I don't necessarily know because I'm not famous. I never had to go through that process, so I don't know how easy or how hard it is to try to keep your name off so people just can't Google where you live at. So I don't know.
But that's what I'm saying. And I can give you a perfect example. I remember I delivered to a Miami Heat player in Largo. And I just looked at the package. I was working at Largo, and I seen the package, and I was like, "Dang, what?" I'm like, "Hold up, I know that's not who I think it is." And it had to be signed. And guess who opened the door? He opened the door.
I mean, like I said, it depends because I do feel like some people just live differently. Like,
because even with Steve Francis, that's how even with Steve Francis when he see me in the clay, he's like, "Oh, hey, mailman." And it's not delivered to his house, but I delivered to his family house, which is in his name in College Park. And he just, I done bumped into him a few times. So that's what I'm saying. People can get that information. It's not that hard. And that's why I said it ain't, and I don't think you can be that much secret. I mean, especially nowadays with technology.
No, I get that. And I do think some athletes probably feel like they're just low key because they just don't like, again, like even Bobby Porter's like, I can't really, I'm sure, you're rich, so you do got expensive stuff in your house. But if I'm just going off of, if I'm just like John Morant kind of makes sense to me. Travis, like if you're talking about all the people they name, maybe Joe Burrow, because Joe Burrow do be kind of icy. And that's why they call him Shiesty Joe and all that. They got all the cool little black nicknames for Joe Burrow. But even Patrick Mahomes, I probably, of course, I'm not a robber, so I don't know how robbers think, but I just probably would skip Patrick Mahomes 90% of the time. I would hit Travis Kelce before I hit Patrick Mahomes.
Why?
Because Travis Kelce at one point in time when he was dating black women, he kind of was giving like he looked like he may have some fly shit in his house. Like if I'm just judging off of just previous, before Taylor Swift, I would sit here and say Travis Kelce probably. If I'm just off of just some young dumb nigga shit, I'm trying to get some sneakers and some cool clothes. At one point in time, Travis Kelce looked like he probably had some cool shit in his house. Before the Taylor Swift thing, if I'm just going off of outfits and all that, John Morant makes sense. Yeah, I'm cool. If I knew where John Morant lived at and I could break into John Morant's house, that makes sense to me. Chris Brown, of course it makes sense. Like, have you seen Chris Brown's closet? But some of that shit makes sense to me.
But then that's why I'm saying, but it's an athlete, period. They have money. They keep
but it's 2025. Like, who really keeping money in their house? That's why most of them get hit for their jewelry.
I'm pretty sure they do. And their jewelry are real. It's not like you robbing a rapper, because 9 times out of 10, their shit is fake. The athletes have real money. And that's why a lot of people say, oh, you don't play them chain games with athletes because their chains be real and the rappers don't. That's all for some label, you know what I'm saying? Like you in a deal to get those chains. So I wouldn't try to rob a rapper.
Yeah, I guess. We ain't got to stay on that too much longer. I guess we can kind of get back into real life adult stuff. I'm going to play this clip of this woman who kind of was upset because her baby daddy didn't want to help on the light bill and she's married.
So y'all, please help me understand this. My lights got turned off. So I called my baby's father and asked him if he could get my lights turned on for me. He said no, because I have a husband and that's his responsibility. How is that his responsibility to pay my lights to get turned back on after they get turned off, that you have kids that stay here. You don't care about your kids. I understand that I have a husband, granted, don't beat me up over it, but we fell on hard times. So as my baby's father, I feel like you're supposed to pick up the slack. So you rather for your kids to be in the dark than to help your baby mother get her lights turned back on? What if I didn't have a husband? Would you have helped me then? Yeah. This man is crazy. Sir, help me get my lights turned on.
All right, so I mean, y'all can answer this question better than me because I feel like I get where she coming from, but then I can get
She crazy as hell. What do you understand about that?
Please let me know.
Because his kids do live it.
I'll come get my kids.
So then you didn't say that then. That's cool. I'm with you on that one. If that was what I was thinking.
You
Like,
didn't,
cool.
you didn't say that. You asked me, could I help you pay to get your lights back on?
But if you're not coming to get the kids, then you should help.
You didn't say that. I'm pretty sure you don't want me to come get the kids.
But even still, like
you didn't. That was never. You said help me pay the bill to put you in there running that bill up, right?
Of course, my kids in there running that bill up too.
At the end of the day, that's your. If the kids are with me, right? I don't ask you to come pay the bills for me.
Okay, yeah, cool.
So you want me to come pay the bills where you have somebody else that's standing?
No, listen, so cool. If you don't want me to pay the bills, then come and get the. If you don't want to help pay the bills, then come and get the kids.
I can come get the kids. That's fine with me.
That for her, that would probably still be a problem.
Yeah, then that's when you got to draw the line. You can't have it both ways. You either got to come. You got to either come and help pay these bills, or you come and take the kids. I'm with you. It can't be both. Or you can't have a problem with it. But somebody, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's no way really because I'm.
But you chose to marry this man.
Yeah, you need to leave. He ain't for
so hold on. So y'all basically saying just because she got a man who lived there, they can't hit hard times together. It be families that be homeless together. What y'all saying?
A man gonna do what a man gotta do. So let's just say you was dealing with somebody and they had a kid, right? She had a child. Would you be okay with, and you lost your job or whatever? Would you be okay with her calling her baby father to pay y'all's light bill?
No, I wouldn't be.
All right, then.
Okay, so then
stop making excuses for that shit. And you're married. You're married. To death do us part.
No, but I have an ego though.
That's your problem.
Get the fuck over. A lot of men
have egos.
But we just argued for 20 minutes about a man who didn't have an ego because he sit here and went to social media.
No, that's not an
his
ego.
Wife cheating on him. Yeah, if he had an ego, he wouldn't have did it.
All right, then.
So he didn't have no ego. So that's one point. It's some men out here who don't have an ego or pride.
But that's my thing. But listen what you said. You saying you understand. Dog, you sitting here if she called you right now and say, yo, hey, I'm behind, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm a paint even better, right? She called you right now, and Stephon Diggs is in her house, right?
Come on,
no, it's not a. We don't know. We don't know though.
Nigga, I'm looking at this woman. Stephon Diggs ain't.
But that's my thing. But you don't know what that man would he drives or what he have. If he portrayed the image, he got all this.
No, but what's he shit on you? Regular worker class. No,
he could be a regular class. He could be a regular working. You do whatever you do. You do contents, right? Mm-hmm. This nigga can have a job. He work at Metro, right? Mm-hmm. He shit when she started dealing with him. Oh, that you dealing with that little old content nigga making ass nigga, right?
Yeah, cool.
And then she called.
But listen what I'm saying. Listen here. I'm listening to what I'm saying. Most men, again, we talk about ego. Yeah, I'm sure there are men out here who will sit here. It don't matter what you doing. It's niggas out here. I'm sure Stephon Diggs. I hope he not doing it, but I'm sure he might have had moments where he might. Oh, you're talking to all. Say the Migos Ben fell off. He may feel like that because niggas is going to be niggas. Niggas got ego and pride.
You're right. Niggas gonna be niggas, but you can't sit here and call me and ask me to help you out when this nigga was shitting on me.
I mean, it's different. I hear y'all. If you're not gonna come and take the kids, help pay the bill, though. That's all I'm saying. It's cool. You can eliminate the whole conversation. He can just come. I'm gonna take my kids.
You can be your sugar daddy then. Why he hitting it? Be her sugar daddy.
But guess what?
You're her sugar daddy. You are her sugar daddy.
So you okay with him hitting it when he helped taking care of your kids? Before the light bill was okay, you was okay with him still hitting it. Your kids laying in the house with him, and that's okay. But now he's sitting here hit hard times. Now you sit here trying to see and say, "Oh, I'm being a sugar daddy." How does that make sense to you? It's okay when he was up.
Because you're paying for it. If my kids over there, they living there. That's cool. I'm not about to sit here, but you calling me, asked me to pay for this bill, and you can't take care of it. As a man, you should do what you got to do.
No. So listen what you're saying. So what will be the difference between saying you saying, okay, I'm helping on a bill, then you sitting here saying I'm putting a PlayStation in this house for my kids because they live it. What's the difference? Well, they can't blame.
They're utilizing that.
It's a big difference.
There's still electricity. What's the difference?
My kids ain't running that light bill up by themselves. Shit, what if my kids were with me 99% of the time?
They in school.
Wait, they ain't in school on the summertime.
This not the summertime.
Okay, they going
spring
back
break right around the corner. So you want your kids to sit in this house during spring break with no electricity?
No, they gonna come with me.
I'm gonna tell y'all how y'all hypocrites. Because just last week y'all was mad at the nigga for letting his kids die in the freezing cold.
Right, because he had a warm place for them to stay.
No, but guess what he said? He said to her, if she would have told me that she was homeless,
I don't have
hold
to tell
hold
you
up,
that.
hold up, hold
I don't
up.
have
So
to
you
tell
only
you
behind
that.
on your light bills. You're not behind on the other bills.
That happens. What you mean? People, that shit happen to people all the time. What you talking about? That's like somebody can afford to pay their car note but can't pay their car insurance. What the hell you mean? Sometimes
I'm pretty sure your rent and everything else is more than your light bill.
So yeah, so guess what? I may cut. So guess what? You think? So guess what? Guess what's easier? It's easier to get my lights cut back on than it would be if I had to go to court and they sit here and put a note on my door saying I got to get out.
All right, so okay, all right. So hold on. Okay, all right. Let's stay there, right? So all right, she called me, right? Now if I say, well, if I pay this, I gotta fuck. You as the husband, you gonna be okay with that?
No, I'm not gonna.
All right, then. My point. Then go get a fucking job and do what you gotta do.
Okay, so cool. So let's just say they work perfect example. We can tie this into the DMV area because I mean, a lot of people work in the federal government and people getting laid off right now. So what if realistically both of them work for the government and both of them just got laid off?
You ain't get laid off. You can go to work. They're laying off people that's not going to work.
No, it's endless people. I don't think everybody getting laid off for the same reason, bro. They laying people off like 90 going north.
Take your ass to work. If you was at work, they wouldn't be laying you off.
No, they are, but like you find another way. That's all I'm saying. Like
and even as a federal worker, they give you loans and stuff as a federal worker. So that's not.
And at the slightest chance that I might consider it, I will go pay the bill myself. I'm not handing the money to you. I will go pay the bill myself.
Y'all some ruthless motherfuckers today. God damn.
No, because
you letting you get away with a lot of bullshit.
You just said that you wouldn't do it because of your ego. So, and it's a lot. It's a lot of men that may, but it's a lot of men that's like, no, I'm not gonna let you call your baby father to pay this. I'm gonna go Uber. Or I'm gonna go DoorDash.
And that's what I'm saying. That's just crazy. Like for you to sit here and call, like I get it if it was in my name. If it's in my name, like the light, everything is in my name, then cool. All right, I don't want to fuck my credit up. Then cool, you call me, say, hey, can you, that's cool. But it's not in my name. None of that have to do with me.
I mean, like I said, I hear you. I'm not mad at it. I guess why we can kind of still keep it on regular people's stuff and keep it kind of a little bit local with this one. So there was a video, and the kids didn't post it themselves, but it was a video of two teenagers robbing a white man for his coat on the train. So of course I seen this on Twitter, and I didn't, because sometimes I just be like, I don't feel like engaging with people and arguing, but I seen somebody saying y'all need to stop victim shaming. I don't know, and I wanted to ask the girl, are you actually from the DMV area? Because I hear what you're saying, don't victim shame, but I do understand when you go in certain places, dress accordingly.
No, but you can't say that.
What you mean you can't say that?
So
nigga, we used to argue about where you could wear my chain all the time, because guess what? It's time and place for certain shit that I may feel more comfortable with you. Oh yeah, you going here, cool, do your thing. But if you're going to certain places where it's like, nigga, you know the temperature, you're on the subway this one I'm not saying, I'm sure most people thinking, hey, I get on, this ain't New York, so New York, DC subways ain't as crazy as New York Jones. But you can't be on a subway with $1,000 coat on, dog. It's that's a little nuts.
They cost?
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But them kids go to school with them damn same shoes, right? The Balenciagas and all that.
But listen,
and they get robbed.
No, but that's
what I'm saying. But that's my thing. What I'm just saying, like you saying, I don't agree with it because I don't wear the shit. So I'm not, like I said, at the end of the day. But if you can afford it, and you saying don't wear it, but if you wear that,
don't wear that shit on the metro. Like you riding, you got the green line, red line, you passing through all types.
But if I'm not mistaken, but the dude who robbed him had a Canada. It wasn't a Canada. He had a Canada.
That don't mean he ain't robbing nigga for it neither. Niggas used to rob niggas for their EBs and had them on. Like, nigga, you acting like you're not old enough to. Niggas used to get robbed for their Eddie Bowers, used to get robbed for their North Faces. At one point in time, niggas was getting robbed for a starter jacket, dog. How cheap starter jacket.
But what I'm saying is,
that wasn't cheap.
But what I'm saying is for you, that guy, I'm pretty sure that jacket, that's what I'm saying. You telling me don't wear my.
Listen, what I'm saying. If you listen, this can't even be a bigger problem. People ain't only not even really keeping it P with it because it was a white man, but because white people do stupid shit like that. But I'm not having $1,000 coat and I got to get on the metro, dog. That's some nigga shit. If we keep it in a bean, that's ass backwards. There's no way in hell you got $1,000 coat on and you got to get on the metro. Especially in this day and age where they got Ubers, Lyfts, all types of shit for you to get around, and you on a goddamn train. Are you crazy? You can't even control who get like Erica just said.
You can't control that. You absolutely right. You can't control that. But then that's just like, dog. I don't feel like he probably don't value that, and that's what I'm saying. He probably don't value that jacket like that.
Give it up. So we're gonna.
No, and he gave it. And I'm saying he gave it up. He didn't put up a fight about it. He gave it up.
No, for sure. Of course he wasn't.
But that's what I'm saying. But that I feel like. That's you taking advantage of. You saw a weak individual. You taking advantage of it.
But
If that was somebody,
that's what robbers do.
But that's what robbers do. I get that. That's what robbers do. And like you said, we going back to the athletes. You saw they not home, so yes, of course I'm gonna try my hand. But you can't tell me not to wear my shit.
Say don't wear.
I ain't saying don't wear. I'm just saying
smart about where you're wearing
it.
But he probably not valuing that jacket like you are.
No, this was that's cool then. That's why you got it.
You know when niggas is when they be niggering, you shouldn't have.
But he probably didn't. But that's what I'm saying. But that jacket.
I'm gonna tell you a perfect example how you can even tie it in and keep it locally. If I'm going on a movie date, and if I'm going, of course this sound crazy, but it would be would you going if you see it saying I'm going to Rivertown to the movies, you're not going to wear what you wear to Rivertown if you were sitting here saying I'm going to iPick or I'm going to the joint out Baltimore or I'm going to the joint out Tyson's. Your dress ain't going. You're not going to put on the same thing, even if it's with a date with the same woman. She not going to put on the same thing. She not even going to put on the same effort. If you say, oh hey boo, let's go catch a movie real quick. We gonna go to we can go to Greenbelt. We going to just to a regular movie theater. They may have a reclining seats. But that it's not. You're not putting on the same effort that you would, especially when iPick was first iPick.
But then that's not fair because that's just like, oh well, you bought a let's say you bought the Cybertruck and you just riding through the city and somebody sitting here try to carjack you, saying, oh well, you shouldn't have been driving that in the city.
I mean, I would feel the same. I mean, guess what you would? No, listen. Guess what? I look at people. I see this all the time. It be mind blowing to me. If I'm going through somebody's neighborhood and it's like, damn, these like $1,000 apartments and you got a Porsche outside. That's kind of nuts to me. And people do it, but that to me is still nuts. I'm not about to make it like, oh, that's not crazy. Like you got a $150,000 car and you live in the ghetto. It's kind of crazy, dog. Like what the fuck are we doing?
But you can't. But that's what I'm saying. But then that don't. You telling me don't buy my vehicle? If I'm saying,
I ain't telling you don't buy it, but it's kind of like you can't be mad if people keep breaking into it either. Or even just dumb it down a little bit. You can't sit here and say, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna put rims on my car, but I live in the hood where niggas still like. If you live in let's just sit here and say keep it DMV. If you live in Landover, you know. Anywhere in PG County, for niggas steal cars, especially if you live in an apartment complex or a town, or even if you live in a townhouse complex, but it's a popular one that a lot of people traffic through. I'm not gonna have my car parked on the street with rims on it, dog.
Right, but okay, but then,
you just
asking for no, shit. And I hear you say that part, but then it's like, all right, people who got the Honda Civics and the Kias and all that, right? Those just regular cars, and that's what I'm saying. That was probably just a regular jacket to him. It's cold out here; it get cold. I want to wear a jacket. I want a jacket just because his name brand. And he was white. It wasn't like he was you know what I'm saying? Like he probably could afford that jacket. Probably got a bunch of them jackets. But you saying don't put them on because you riding the metro. But okay, let's just say my ride out, I'm going all the way out Navy. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm going out somewhere far. So I don't want to
be smarter than. And for him, he probably didn't think it was a big deal.
And that's what I'm saying.
I'm sure he didn't.
Why but you got it
because he didn't fight for it. He didn't fight for the jacket. He was just like, oh, I wasn't going to snitch. I wasn't going to tell on you.
Yeah, but let me play because we definitely got into the deep argument of it and didn't even get there. Let me play the clip real quick, the news clip.
Some Metro riders tell us that they are concerned about their safety, especially after this latest incident. Now, the man that we're talking about was sitting in a train like this one right here in one of those seats with his Canada Goose jacket. And that's when the two suspects walked up to him. Now, let's take a look at what happens next.
Give me the other truck, man. Give me the other one. I wasn't snitching. Dude, I wasn't snitching.
The video shows the teenage suspect forcefully removing the Canada Goose coat from the rider who was wearing the red shirt. The suspect warns the man not to snitch, apparently not to tell anyone about the robbery. The man stands up again saying he wasn't going to snitch, and then the suspect returns with his hand in his pocket as if he has a gun.
Dude, I wasn't going to snitch. I'm sorry. I wasn't snitching.
The man runs away from the two teenage suspects. The other one shown wearing a coat, a backpack, and khakis. Both suspects turning around as the smartphone captures their faces. Metro Transit Police say they arrested the two suspects in Maryland for unrelated crimes, and police are working with the Attorney General's office in D.C. to also file charges for the coat robbery. Tonight, some Metro...
So the boy didn't have a coat. He put the coat. When you seen him, the second part when he came back in the video, he just put that coat on that he took from the dude. So when he went back to see him and say something else to him, he just put that coat on. Like I said, you're absolutely right. And I guess realistically,
because shit, the iPhone costs more than the coat.
Yeah, I mean, but niggas know that realistically ain't too much you can do with that phone. That phone was gonna kind of send you to jail faster than anything else, especially in this day and age where all somebody got to do is find my iPhone. Even though they still got locked up regardless, I kind of think it was. I mean, but these youngins out here stupid though. So it ain't too much. You can't really give. No,
and that's why I'm saying that's my only thing. You just saying like don't wear the jacket, and it's just like, all right, well, cool, I can get another jacket. But that's my thing. It just, and I'm pretty sure that's probably why the people were saying you victim shame is like, don't tell him not to. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't wear it.
Listen to what I'm saying. I'm victim shaming for. Let's take it out. Let's take it out. If that's my last dollar. No, that's what I'm saying. It's a difference between what white people can get away with and what white people can afford from what black people. So if you are a black person and you're watching this, I'm not victim shaming that white man because, like y'all said, he probably could afford it. He probably didn't think twice of it. This jacket to him probably is nothing to him. But I'm talking to the black people who are sitting here. If you feel like one day you may be behind on a bill, or you may need to borrow $1 from somebody, or you might need to throw up a GoFundMe link, you should not be on nobody's train with $1,000 nothing on.
And that's my thing. That's why I'm saying like, and that was the thing. Like if that was your last, like you only had, that's my whole thing. It's just like I'm pretty sure with that guy, he can find another one. He can get another one. But if that's your last dollar and you're wearing that and you're on the metro, you shouldn't be wearing that jacket.
Of course not.
That's my whole thing. And I'm pretty, like I said, with that dude, I'm pretty sure he can buy another one.
I mean, yeah, of course. I guess it's just the sad thing. I mean, that just made for good content and good dialogue. I guess real quick, can I sit here and talk about Summer Walker? I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I respect her because she kind of give hope to just regular working class men like myself because she don't got no standards. You treat her nice and she'll let you shoot up the club up. And I'm sure because she posted in her Insta story like, damn, I wish I could get pregnant this year, but I can't. And this would be baby father number 3 for her. And of course, I'm sure most people even listening to the sound of my voice, you don't even know who Rico Reckless is, especially if you are not somebody who subscribes to hip hop media on YouTube. Like if you somebody who don't get on YouTube and go down rabbit holes and just watch random Vlad or No Jumper interviews, you probably don't even know who this dude is. So you probably just realistically like, damn, who is this? Again, this will be Summer Walker started off high with baby daddy number 1, and she's continuously just went completely down for baby daddy number 2 and knocking on the door for baby daddy number 3. So like I said, again, I'm not mad at Summer Walker because she does give hope to the random, just regular dude on social media community. So, I mean, it is what it is, but I do think Summer Walker's an idiot if you got pregnant by him. I just realistically think like I'm saying it kind of like tongue in cheek, like, yeah, I'm cool with what you're doing, but I do think it's very stupid. I'm glad that just somebody that you were smart enough to at least know you need to put out that new album. You probably need to go on tour. So yeah, this probably realistically for you wouldn't be the smartest time to sit here and try to go get pregnant. So like I said, shout out to Summer Walker though. I do appreciate you kind of being a little on the stupid side. I'm not mad at you. And then there was people on social media who, of course, had felt so. I don't necessarily know how many people actually felt some type of way in real life about Kodak Black and Boosie going to the White House for whatever this thing is they had going on at the White House. I guess they had their little Black History thing, and Boosie was there and Kodak Black was there. And I believe, like I said, I don't know if it's still a place realistically where people really hold either one of them at a high regard where you will really care. Like I do think Boosie is at that point of his career where he's kind of one of those he's just the old black dude on social media for real. Like I don't take him too serious. And Kodak Black is like, bro, we didn't literally seen a week ago of Kodak Black in the middle of the street eating chicken on the ground. Do I really
he pardoned you? He got you out of jail, so I mean,
no, but I mean, even if he didn't, would I really care? Like if I'm being honest, like,
oh no, I mean. The gig is the gig. I get it. And that's my thing. Do people? I'm not gonna say because people can get canceled, and you can't
cancel neither one of them,
right? So that's what I'm saying. So why are people up in arms?
I mean, I think because that's just what people do on social media. People get up in arms about everything that they can't cancel. That be the stuff realistically.
But that's what I'm saying. But it's just so do it value anything? Like that's my only thing. Like I get it. People, it's a topic, it's something to talk about. But really, is it something to be upset about?
I mean, for some people, real quick, because you got this game on. I ain't gonna lie to you. I do think a lot of people owe Carl Anthony Towns an apology, like a real live public apology. Like I'm apologize to Luka later on in this episode, but I think a lot of people need to apologize to Carl Anthony Towns. Like a lot of people get because the Minnesota Timberwolves is pure dog shit this season, and they just got Anthony Edwards. That's it. The Minnesota Timberwolves are trash, dog. Like
you You said Minnesota should apologize to Carl Anthony.
No, I'm saying like niggas from New York City who was acting like Julius Randle was fucking Patrick Ewing.
I don't think no. Who
Nigga,
somebody said Julius Randle was better than Cat.
Nigga, Joe fucking Button, Rory, and but that's again, like I said, Julius Randle was their man, so maybe they just maybe I mean, it's tongue in cheek, like okay, that's my man, he got traded. But I heard them two niggas for 100% Paul. I've heard literally both of them act like Julius Randle was like he was like, oh man, I can't believe that the Knicks gave up Julius Randle for Carl Anthony Towns.
Yeah, but Julius Randle like 14.
I don't, nigga. Julius Randle ain't done a goddamn thing since he been in Minnesota. He probably had like 2 half decent games and been Maurice Cheeks the rest. I know that was a crazy little sidebar, but I'm just because you got this game on, I'm just like, bro, Minnesota is Cheeks, though. And we'll talk about Anthony Edwards a little bit later.
Executive order I signed last month, this new beautiful outdoor statue park. It's going to be a statue park. It's going to be unbelievable. We're picking the final sites now. It's between various states that want it very badly. We'll honor hundreds of our greatest Americans to ever live, including countless Black Americans, icons. The garden will predominantly feature incredible women like Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks, Billie Holiday, Aretha Franklin, and Coretta Scott King. And I will showcase extraordinary. It will be something very extraordinary. It's going to be producing, we're going to produce some of the most beautiful works of art in the form of a statue from men like Frederick Douglass, Booker T. Washington, Jackie Robinson, what a great athlete that was, Martin Luther King Jr., Muhammad Ali, he's not a bad athlete. What do you think, Muhammad? Not too bad. And the late Kobe Bryant. People love Kobe Bryant. And we're going to save Tiger Woods for another time. That's all that I can. I'm sorry.
You know what's so crazy? Just I guess why we kind of keeping it back on to the government thing. You know what's so crazy? When you hear these stories about how many people are getting laid off, I don't necessarily think like I'm not one of them people like hi, this is what y'all get type of thing. But I do think because of course I've talked about this a million times on here. I do think a lot of people, especially in the DMV area, put too much sauce on where they work instead of being who they are. Like I told y'all, that's probably one of my biggest pet peeves that I hate when you meeting people and you're trying to date and they be like, oh hey, what you do? Like that is, and that's why I kind of just laugh at it a little bit because I get to see so many people who work at the federal government and they literally be on social media like completely crashing out because they kind of don't know, because that is almost like, and it's so sad that so many people put who they are into where they work at. And that's when you see so many people like I was looking at this girl. She posted like a group message with her and a bunch of her cousins, and they were just sitting here like panicking about because I guess on on Friday, Elon Musk sent out a joint with saying like y'all basically got to give an email like what you did, like what was your work, what did you do at work this week or whatever the case may be, and if people don't respond, I don't necessarily because I don't work in the federal government, so I don't know how much of this is tongue or cheek or this is just really happening. But I seen people showing like they were screenshotting the email that they got asking like, hey, what you did, and I seen it like on CNN and NBC, and they were talking about it, and they was bringing up the Jones like, oh, he just sent out this thing. So I do think realistically this will be the next 4 years will be a learning experience for a lot of people in the DMV area who put so much emphasis on where you work at, because a lot of y'all ain't gonna have them jobs no more. And I do kind of, and that's why you see it when we played that clip last week of how fast the housing market is dropping, because yeah, those houses that people would normally sit here and take because they about to get a new government job, those government jobs aren't guaranteed that they still gonna be open. So a lot of people ain't rushing to buy those houses no more. So those houses that were a certain price, like I said, I played the clip last week. Those houses, the housing market in the DC area is dropping dramatically because the jobs that people were getting are going dramatically at a very rapid pace. So I do think that like I said, if you're not one of those people, thoughts and prayers, if you may be in a limbo of maybe getting ready to lose your job, thoughts and prayers to you. But I do think it's just, I told y'all that to me is one of my biggest turnoffs. And even when you see people play like clips and people talk about, oh man, I hate working. I mean, living in the DMV, trying to date in the area because so many people, that's their biggest complaint. There's so many people put so much emphasis on what you do. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not one of those people where it's like, I feel sorry for some people, but then there's some people where it's like, all right, it is what it is. Eat a dick. I don't know what to tell y'all, dog.
But I mean, even with that, I mean, just because like even with the post office, they got rumors and shit going around. But I feel like at the end of the day, I mean, you're doing your job. For sure.
Right? I think with y'all is a little bit different because y'all been kind of dealing with rumors and cutbacks even when Amazon became, oh, what y'all gonna do? Because here come Amazon. It's kind of like.
But that's what I'm saying.
Y'all didn't kind of weather the storm with all of them type.
But we weathered the storm, and Trump man was the the postmaster general. He appointed that guy, and he, like I said, and since he been in there, and now, like I said, he about to step down, and I'm pretty sure he's stepping down because the money ain't where it is. But you paying a lot of people who ain't doing shit. So, like I said, I mean, at the end of the day, if you're trying to cut back on your spending or you're trying to cut back on a lot of shit, people are not in those buildings. Then what?
No, for sure. And I think, you know, that's so crazy. Even the girl I'm talking about that I seen her joke, like she used to always make, like, especially during the, like, right after the pandemic, when you get to go, because a lot of people wasn't doing work. You're absolutely right. And that's why when you keep saying that, it's so funny, because that is like the running joke where it's like so many people got federal government jobs and really don't be having to do no work. And especially since they've been at home. Because I know endless women who will be like, oh yeah, I'm at work and I'm at the gym, or I'm on like, you didn't have to use none of your vacation time because you got to remote work. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a hater. I'm like, bitch, I gotta miss out on money if I want to go on vacation. You get to sit here and still work and go and fly and go to Puerto Rico and pop your coochie and go to Jamaica and all. Yeah, so niggas kind of been watching y'all have it up. So that is almost just like the same way people laugh at niggas getting the what was it, Joe? The PPP loans. And I'm gonna play it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna play it just because we just was talking about somebody getting it was a video when Charlamagne posted the joke, and the dude was literally sitting here saying he got hit for the PPP joke. Like he thought he got away with his PPP loan, and then I was in Texas, and they finally caught up to him. Where is that joke at? Because it's so many. Damn, where is John? Oh, here you go, right here. Yep.
So in 2020, everybody was doing the PPP. My cousin did it, my brother did it, then my best friend did it. I said, shit, sign me up. Now, I wish I never fucking did the shit. So, bro, 4 years after the money already spent, I get a knock at the door the other day. Boom, 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 boom. Dallas Police Department, open the door. We know you're inside. Shit, I open the door because I ain't do shit. What the hell y'all banging on my door like that for? Put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest. I'm like, damn, what the hell I do? Can I put my dog up? They're not giving me no information. Not letting me put my dog up. Get to the van. Take me downtown. I'm in booking, asking, what am I being arrested for? They're not giving me no information. I find out when I get in front of the judge, I got 4 charges. Bank fraud, wire fraud, making false statements, and tax evasion. So the judge never mentioned PPP. So it's not registering to me what am I actually here for. So he set my bond at $20,000. I go back to my cell. So when I talk to my cellmate and I tell him about the charges, he like, bro, that's for PPP. I'm like, how you know? Tell me why this man tell me that it's been at least 50 people that came through within the last week with the same charges. So the jail is overpopulated. The court's backed up for months. My next court date isn't until July. After I make bail, they tell me I got to go on an ankle monitoring bracelet. And this bitch hurt. Bro, I can't leave the house. I can't smoke. I can't drink. I can't do shit. And mind y'all, they can listen to anything I'm doing at any given time and freaking talk to me through this bitch like it's a walkie-talkie. Bro, I talked to my public defender earlier, and this man tell me I'm facing 22 years in prison, but if I find a way to get them the $22,000 back, that he can give me less than 10 years. I don't even have money for a paid lawyer. So, yeah, I got a $10,000 watch for sale if anybody want to buy it.
And y'all got the nerve to sit here and tell me that people wouldn't sit here and take the 30 bands. And this is what I'm saying. This is the difference. This is the real world. This is somebody who real live, really right now, he would have wished he was on that Delta joint. He would have took that 30 racks.
I'm not saying people wouldn't take it. I just wouldn't take it. Now, if in certain situations you probably was okay, I can settle for that. But when I know I can get more, I'm gonna go for more.
Yeah, but shout out. I mean, like I said, this is, I guess, one thing. I guess you will learn and you will see. Y'all thought that Trump shit was gonna be a game. You're gonna learn the hard way, and that's so crazy. Like I'm sure. No, think about it. You think about that PPP. You probably realistically thought it was over. Like you talking about at this point, that was almost like 4 years ago.
You can't sit here and ask for money, then you don't show nothing else going after that. After you didn't got that money, and you thought they wasn't gonna get you back.
I'm sure. Listen, what he just said when he told that story. That happened literally in 2021. He's almost 2025 now. 4 years ago, you probably thought, oh, they forgot all about me. Oh, I'm whatever. You probably thought you did it the right way. Because I'm sure some people who probably, you think about it 4 years later, like, damn, I got away with it. Okay. And you think about really, you sitting here saying you just hit him for 20. No, you know how fast, especially during that time, people was running through that 20. Listen, what he just said, he's bought a $10,000 watch. That's half of the money right there. Stupid. Of course, it's dumb. It's pure dumb, stupid nigga shit. But I mean, that's just how people be, and that's just the perfect example of you play stupid games, you get stupid prizes. I mean, that's what's realistically going to happen.
And you ain't found nothing for God knows how long too.
Yeah, they're gonna get you, dog. I don't necessarily know what else to tell you. I feel like it's something.
So to join the Navy now, as of recently, within 24 hours, maybe 48 hours, that you don't need a diploma or a GED. You just got to score 50 and above. That is different.
So I mean that was a different clip. I guess basically they sitting here warning people, talking about get ready to. They basically sitting here saying they're making it easy for people to join the army because they feel like the war is about to happen. But I do want to play this clip real quick because I'm sure most people, if you really kind of pay attention to politics, or if you're not even somebody who really paying to politics like that, you just be looking for certain clips. I'm gonna play. Joy Reid lost her job at MSNBC. They are canceling her show. This will be, I want to say maybe Monday might be her last episode. I know one day this week will be her last episode. I'm sure that I do know for a fact she will be on tomorrow. And I always talk about this when I come on here, and I say, when I normally talk about it when we talk about sports and stuff like that, I always just sit here and say some of these times these people don't realize you just got a cool job. And I think even watching how people get so sad, I think realistically, especially living, I mean, of course, she's an older woman, but I do think realistically, you probably shouldn't just put your eggs in the basket on just relying on being on TV. Well, you should have kind of like, all right, I'm gonna do my own YouTube channel, or I'm gonna start my own podcast. And that's why I will give Stephen A lot of credit for, because Stephen A kind of like, you probably look, he kind of seen the writing on the wall. You seen like, all right, I seen how much bread ESPN gave Pat McAfee because Pat McAfee had his own YouTube show before ESPN licensed it and picked them up. Okay, I'm looking at Shannon Sharpe where it was like, Shannon Sharpe, man, he got popular on Undisputed, but at this point in time, you can probably argue Club Shay Shay is way more popular and way more bigger for him than Undisputed was. So you kind of get to see it and understand where I don't have to wait for ESPN to want to fire me. And that's even with Ryan Clark. I'm sure realistically, ESPN was playing with Ryan Clark money for a second, and then he kind of seen how popular the pivot was. And it was like, all right, can we really afford to lose Ryan Clark? Because realistically, in this day and age, for a lot of them networks, you got to understand it. Your competition ain't just what's on the other TV shows. Your competition is also on YouTube now. Because I even seen a joke with Gilbert Arenas was talking about how like he in conversations with NBC, because of course NBC is trying to get their situation loaded for. They about to start, they gonna get they gonna have all the rights to the NBA. So they trying to figure out who, what I'm saying, like who the people who gonna kind of work best for them, or who got gainers the most attention and audience. And I'm sure if you pay attention, any type of attention to sports media, especially via YouTube, Gilbert Arenas probably realistically got his show probably realistically, we talking especially basketball wise, his show kind of it's the best junk going. And they be on damn near every day, the whole entire week. And it's kind of just like, I'm sure a lot of these TV networks are looking at this. So, I mean, of course, you feel a little bit sad for Joy Reid, but I do think realistically, I only feel sad that she's kind of just, you put all your eggs in the basket of the network. So I'm going to play this clip real quick of Angela Rye talking about it, because she did a better job at just explaining it from that situation.
Hey everyone, I am coming to you all about my good sister friend Joy Reid. Many of us are posting. I wanted to post pictures. I have been posting things to my Instagram stories, but I want to tell you all about something that's really on my heart. We spend a lot of time building up these outside institutions run by white folks who end up utilizing us, our talents, our consumerism for their benefit. And then whenever they feel good and ready, they throw us away. I'm not talking about good white folks. I'm talking about white supremacist led organizations. And so what I think what is imperative for us to understand in this moment is that we have to support each other. We have to buckle down and understand that this is a unique time, that we've been called to serve, to thrive in a very unique and dangerous environment. And we owe it to ourselves and each other to fight for our own spaces, to ensure that when an entity that doesn't agree with everything someone says, but they're for the advancement of people of color, that we are working to protect those people and those entities. What I want to ask you all to do is to ensure that when Joy's show is on tomorrow, that you watch Joy's show. Watch Joy's show. Tune into MSNBC as you normally would at 7 p.m. tomorrow. And then when Joy's show ends, I want you to turn the TV off, and I want you to keep it off. And for my brothers and sisters among us, tonight there's going to be a historic occasion where we all gather. Win with Black men, win with Black women. We know how powerful the two have been. For the first time, we're going to come together. If you are on those lists already, you understand. We're going to come together because it's time for us to stand united, because we are at a historic moment where we are uniquely challenged, uniquely discriminated against, where there are unique challenges to the 14th Amendment protections that our ancestors fought for. We're going to come together, encourage each other, and map out our next steps. But allies, accomplices, I'm calling on y'all too. Stop supporting these entities that don't support us. This ain't entertainment. This is not politics as usual. We are facing fascism, and we have to move accordingly. No, we are not going to make every correct decision.
All right, so my only thing, again, like I said, just to kind of double down on that, I do think realistically, again, I always just, I'll keep saying this. I think some of those places are just cool jobs, and I do think that you should, at the same, especially if you're in an entertainment space where you are a talking head. I don't care if it's on a radio station, if it's on whatever network is on. I do think you should have your own platform as well. You should be building up your own YouTube channel. You should be building up your own podcast audience. So realistically, if these things, even her sitting here saying, "Oh, y'all should tune into her show tomorrow," no, realistically, y'all should kind of be like, all right, don't tune into her junk, and make sure y'all go follow her YouTube channel. Instead of sitting here saying, yeah, you want them to get them last minute numbers so you can see how many people watch it and then they stop. No, you should take all that energy instead of people cutting on MSNBC. She should already just have a YouTube channel. She should be working on building her own joint up right now. I'm not even gonna lie to you. One of my biggest pet peeves when it comes to some of these sports, I think I seen like Shannon Fry. Is that his name? Shannon Fry? Whatever the nigga who used to play for Cleveland when LeBron was there. Shannon Fry. He pisses me off anytime I see him do one of these little interviews and he like in his room without no headset or nothing, bro. Y'all are millionaires, dog. Take some time, buy the equipment, buy the microphones, buy the headphones. Like that shit is so cheap and so lazy. I would never. That's why I take my hats off to the Joe Buttons, the Gilbert Arenas, the Carmelo Anthony's. Like, bro, build your own studio out. Like, bro, it don't cost that much money. Especially
but I
for
think
millionaires.
but they be doing this like on Zoom and stuff.
For who?
Like they be doing this on Zoom.
Who you talking about?
Like China Frown on them. Like it's
that's
like
not, but that shit is, but still,
but that's the card.
You can still do it on Zoom, and still you can like somebody could like what we doing right now on YouTube. You can just plug in the equipment, and it still can be a good quality, dog. Like you can take a couple $1,000s, buy the equipment, and get some headphones. Like you don't have to sit here and just they be doing it. Like even when we do this, and I sit here like I'm starting, I'm like, okay, I see the YouTube joint ain't moving. I know the audio is messed up. These niggas will record live straight to the YouTube just off the laptop, and it sound like I'm like, bro, you're a fucking professional athlete. Like you had $1 million of contract, spending a couple, we ain't even talking about tens of thousands. We're talking about maybe 2 bands to get you the proper set. Like, bro, stop.
Yeah, but I don't think
lazy.
they want to carry that. But I feel like with him, he's doing games and all that, so he's not going to carry that around.
Bro, how hard is it to put it in a suitcase?
I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't think he wants to carry that around. Like I don't feel like I want to carry that. That's extra to carry.
Yeah, but then they be the same people who be sitting here crying when they lose their joint and be like, oh well, I got fired from ESPN and I can't.
But I feel like, but that's what I'm saying. But I feel like if ESPN is sitting here, whatever the case may be, and you still got your job, like I'm not about to sit here and go do extra for it if they don't even supply it.
I mean, yeah, I guess. I just think realistically you should tighten it up so you don't have to wait until the last minute. But let's get into a little bit of fuck shit. Of course, I know one of my favorite people via social media who just always absolutely on fuck shit is Tia Kemp. So I'm gonna play this clip of Tia Kemp talking about women wasting their money on BBLs and going to work every day.
BBLs is for tricking. I don't think y'all know that. The BBLs ain't for you to go sit back on your job and walk around your job with a BBL. It's not. See, y'all better be glad that I'm okay with what I got, because you go get them BBLs and you ain't doing what you're supposed to do with them. Now, I like the hoes that's doing what they got to do with them BBLs. There's some of them out here, they on the trips, they working them BBLs. The death girl, they go around overseas and all that. They slapping that ass on the fucking Emirates. They ain't never seen like that in their motherfucking lives. See, them hoes working. They utilizing their BBLs. Don't you go get that motherfucking BBL, you gotta sit at the fucking office and the doctor won't even touch your. You working at a doctor's office with a BBL? You can't be working at medical office in no hospital with a BBL because you should be fucking the surgeon in the fucking hospital. You should be married to that for real. Don't you go and get the fucking BBL in your at the post office, stack it up, motherfucking mail. No, no, no. How the fuck you look with a BBL in the postal man? Because he gonna be looking at your in that goddamn mail room. That's backwards. That's backwards. Go get your BBLs and get your on a jet, fly around, twerk that and sell it. That's all I'm up. You feel what I'm saying? But this right here, shit is birthed and built. So that's how I could do that. End of that. Make it clap. I got on this tight dress. It might not.
Hey, no, I'm with her though. I 100% agree with her. They don't make no sense. If you still, it's no point of sitting here saying go get a BBL and you still trying to go to work every day. It's like that's your full occupation. If you can get a BBL, start you a OnlyFans, get that OnlyFans working, and then sit here and start tricking a little bit. Make sure like you got to make yourself. It's no purpose of getting an enhancement. It's like that's like perfect example. That's like me saying I'm gonna go take steroids, but I'm gonna just get on the treadmill every day. Like what the fuck am I taking steroids for? It defeats the purpose. Like go lift some goddamn weights. What's the purpose of getting the BBL if you still gonna go work your hard job every day? Like that don't kind of make no sense. Like it don't make no sense to sit here and say I'm gonna go get a BBL and I'm still gonna try to go work at Nordstrom's warehouse. So like for what? What was the purpose of that? Like you need to go get you a BBL and figure out how can I get courtside so I can sit here and luck up like Shorty did with Anthony Edwards. Like that to me should be the goal. If I'm gonna get a BBL, the job is to sit here and try to figure out how can I lock up and get somebody stupid like Anthony Edwards so I can get Trayvon Diggs or one of these other young dumb athletes who sit here just all right, cool, gonna shoot the club up and I'm gonna get paid. Like that doesn't make no sense. I don't never understand like women real live will go get a BBL and still let Tyrone from Southeast crack. Like that's dumb. Like what are we talking about, bro? Like you like all right, y'all got it. Shout out to Tia Kemp. I got in other news real quick. One of the biggest stories, it was kind of going viral via Twitter and it did make its way to Instagram. It was a young lady who was going back and forth with a little. He said he ain't a YN because he's 25, but I thought the time frame on YNs was
to me.
I thought it was 25. So this young lady sit here and flew herself out, and I'm gonna play the whole jump because it was just. I love these little dumb stories that just go viral on TikTok because it was like when you listen to it, it's gonna have so many holes in her story. It was like, if you used to talking to people with money, why would you fly yourself out? She flew herself out to Spirit to try to get piped out. And it kind of just realistically didn't make no sense to me because she made it seem like he was broken. He was faking. If you used to talking to dudes with money, in what planet would you have to fly yourself out? That kind of didn't make no sense to me. Like I do like, and I'm not gonna lie, shout out to the women who are willing to fly themselves out, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, cool, I ain't trying to get no cheeks. I'm gonna be honest with you. If you gotta fly yourself out, that means the nigga really ain't fucking with you. I'm gonna just be God honest with you. Like I respect it, I appreciate it. But if I'm being dead honest, if you got to fly yourself out and I don't offer to sit here and pay for the flight, I really don't care if you don't come on that. Like I'm not geeking to hit you because if I'm geeking to hit, I'm going to sit here and pay for the flight. But if I'm not geeking to hit, all right, cool. If you say, oh, I'm gonna sit here and go get a hotel room and do this and that, I know fellas is dirty, Mac. I ain't supposed to give out this type of game. But if you got to pay for the room, you got to pay for the flight. Nigga ain't really trying to fuck for real. I'm keeping it a bean.
Young lit nigga that's lit on the internet. And to me, I feel like he was like, what's cat? So yeah, I met him on the internet. I was in Bahamas like the beginning of January for my son. I'm sorry, the beginning of February for my son's birthday or whatever. And he DM'd me on Instagram like, need you. So I'm like, oh, I've been trying to give you me or whatever like that. So he like, whatever. We gonna exchange numbers or what? So I'm like, yeah, because like, he's some fine shit. Like I love dark skinned niggas. And when I say he's some fine shit, bitch, he's some fine shit or whatever like that. So on the internet, like, he got 2 watches, big Cardi, 6 cars, supposedly own his house, and he young as fuck or whatever.
So real quick, I just want to pause it right there. So when I did, of course, the video, the dude responded to it and he ended up making videos and explaining. So I'm not going to play his part because he was like from Chicago. He literally sounds just like King Von. But I see the video and I'm watching his watches. And that's why I love women who keep it a bean. Because I seen women in the comments like, bro, are we all looking at the same watch? There ain't no way in the world you thought this boy really had some bread because the watches just look fake as shit. Like, that, like when Marcus was just talking about the difference between, like, it didn't even look like a rapper watch. It looked like bro, it just looked like a regular little youngin who sit here and went to the mall and bought some jewelry. And I've been a youngin who bought mall jewelry before. I've even been a youngin who bought jewelry from a jewelry store before, but it's a difference between that type of like, oh, I got me a little bit of drug money and nobody don't know no better. Like, and it was different. You got to think about what I'm talking about. This is early 2000s. The internet really wasn't a thing yet. So you don't really even get to see how the athletes and the rappers was really living. So you can kind of get away with wearing BS jewelry back then compared to now where I got to go look at Jalen Hurts and I can see what real jewelry look like. Like, bro, no. Like when I'm looking at him talk and he was doing his response video, I'm looking at this watch like, bro, this watch is fake as hell. And that's why your ass was on Spirit Airline trying to fly him some box.
Like that. Dress nice, always designer down, like always posting mad money, etc. So, you know, like that's my type. I love me a hood, get money nigga. So he asked for my number or whatever like that. So I gave him my number. And like he texted me, and I'm not gonna lie, like it was little signs that I didn't like. Like if you know I'm on vacation with my kids, like I remember I posted my drink or whatever, and I didn't text him right back. And he was on my phone like, "Oh, you see me text you or whatever, but you posting." Like that right there was like you only have my number for like 20 minutes, like chill out. But I let him slide. So we planned to see each other or whatever like this, like whatever like that on this Saturday. That's it, this Saturday, right? And we planned for me to come Valentine's Day weekend or whatever. And he really was on some shit where like he was like, oh, come whatever, what day, what time, it don't even matter. Like whenever you could come, just come. So I chose that weekend because I'm free every other weekend for my kids. They go with their dad or whatever like that. So that was my free weekend. So I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I thought he was a fake page at first or whatever.
Oh, real quick, just apologize. Just to double back on our conversation last week when I told you, Marcus, it's people out here who spend Valentine's Day together and won't never see each other again. That was a perfect example. She was willing. She's so again, when I see and said last week, people be so pressed and so desperate not to spend Valentine's Day on her own. She literally was going to fly herself to a whole nother city to meet somebody she's never seen in real life before to spend Valentine's Day with him. It's a lot of desperate people out here.
That because it just was like too good to be true. So we would only text, and like he'll tell me to FaceTime him, but by the time I FaceTime him or whatever, he not answering. Now he got an excuse or he don't FaceTime back. So bitch, I started thinking like, bitch, I'm gonna get catfish if I go down here. So I told him, I'm like, look, this Wednesday, like the Wednesday before the Friday. So I'm like, FaceTime me before Friday or I'm not coming. So now he got all that energy. He FaceTime me, etc. I got him on the phone before you really couldn't. Like he'd just be texting and shit like that. So he FaceTimed me, he was real, looked the same, looked good as fuck. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm ready, etc. So Friday come and we talk, and I'm like, you know, like, you ready? Like, I'm at the nail salon, I'm like, you ready? Like, I can't wait to see you, I can't wait to meet you, etc. So he like, yeah, or whatever like that. But I feel like his energy was a little off because he was more excited days before. So I'm like, you good, love? Like, you okay? Because I'm like, I feel like your energy is like kind of off, like you're not excited as you was. So he's like, oh, I just found out I got to get my daughter or whatever today. Mind you, it's the day I leave. Like I'm leaving at 10 p.m. at night to land. I think my flight would land like 12:48 a.m. originally. So I'm like, yo, I took our work for this or whatever, and I already checked into the flight. And he's like, well, what's the issue? Nobody didn't tell you not to come. Like you can still come. I'm good. I'm gonna just get a sitter. If anything, her and the sitter are just at my house, and we could just get home. So I'm like, you know what? All right, that's cool. I'm all for that, or whatever the case may be. So I still go, like I get my nails and I run to the mall, I get everything I need, I pack my shit, and I tell him like, all right, I'm going to land at this time. I go to the airport. Mind you, y'all, I'm rushing because I'm always fucking last minute. I get to the airport, I board the flight, or whatever like that. So before I boarded the flight, he texted me this hotel, like Cigna or something. It's like one of the best hotels in Atlanta. So I tried to book the hotel online, but everything was booked up. So I told him, I'm like, look, everything booked up because it's Valentine's Day weekend. So he like, nah, you got to call. So I called and like everything was booked the fuck up. Like literally it was no hotel. So he like, well, find whatever you can find and just book it. And I'm gonna get you from the airport. So I'm like, you know, what's your budget? So he like, what you mean? I'm like, what's your budget? Like I'll book the room, but when I land, I expect to get my money back or whatever like that. So I'm on the plane, y'all. The plane done took off. So the nigga like, oh, the least you could do is pay for the room. So I'm like, huh? So this when a mishap coming, because I get it. Okay, we supposed to stay at your house originally, but then your child came into play. So now we got to go stay somewhere else, which is cool. Because I think a hotel is better anyway, because you don't know me and I don't know you. And it's more safer, I feel like. So he like, yeah, like you can pay for the room. I'm gonna fund the rest of the trip. Baby, you a whole scammer. You think I'm paying for a motherfucking hotel for you to come fuck on me? So he all like, yo, I feel like you could pay for something. I'm funding the rest of the trip or whatever the case may be. Yo, so we start arguing or whatever like that. So then the plane land and I'm like, you really arguing over a $300-something hotel, but you scamming, you hitting all these licks, all this big money you posting. I mean, like $20,000-$30,000. You can't book a $300 hotel. And I just felt like if you brought me to your city, you should make sure I'm good. Like if you came to my city and something happened, I'm going to correct it before you get there. I'm going to figure this shit the fuck out. Because I mean, why wouldn't I? Like it don't make sense. I didn't ask to come there. You wanted to come. Now I agree we wanted to see each other, but still, like, what? So when I landed,
real quick, I got a question for you, Erica. As a woman, do you feel like did she sound like she was desperate because she booked her own flight to go see the dude?
No, he finessed her.
You said he, huh?
How did he finesse her?
I feel like he finessed her. He probably made it sound all good, and then he probably got caught up. He really couldn't get out.
No, but even still, do y'all? Okay, my question, I guess, do y'all think women flying themselves out to a man? Do y'all feel like that's a little desperate?
No.
No. Why?
Because who to say she really paid for them tickets? A lot of people use their flight mileage and buddy passes and all that.
Okay. I just was asking. I just wanted to know how y'all thought about that.
The nigga arguing, going all back and forth and shit. So I'm like, listen, cancel your sitter, stay home with your kid. Go ahead and buy. I'm cool. Like I ain't even link you no more, etc. Y'all, this nigga was like, oh, you must be coming to come see another nigga. Nigga, what? I took off from my job, stopped one of my business to come see you. You talking about another nigga? That's your response? Y'all, he kept fucking arguing. I couldn't believe it because I'm like, bro, like if you getting all this money and you got all this motion, all this shit going on, like $300 is nothing. So I'm like, if I book this hotel, you can't come. So that's what the fuck I did. I booked the hotel, and shout out to that Spirit flight attendant because yo, he stayed in that airport with me and found me a hotel. Yo, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have had nowhere to stay, like at all. But I booked that hotel, y'all, and I left that nigga on red. Like I stopped responding, and I just made it into a solo trip. But I still was just like mad because I trip. Like Atlanta, cool. We used to do that for New Year's, but like just to go and spend that much money, it was just like I could have went somewhere else. Like that was kind of crazy. So me personally, I just feel like his lifestyle got to be kept because I done dealt with some big money niggas. Like I mean, rich niggas like that's running businesses to get legit money. I done dealt with a rapper. I'm not gonna say who the fuck he is because he is a big rapper that y'all listen to every single day. And niggas with money ain't complaining. They're not doing all that. Like I'm telling you, they're not doing all that. Like when you come see them, they have everything into play, everything booked, bitch, your itinerary set up, all that. Like it ain't making sense. So to me, his life was just kept. And to be honest, I never really seen him go out and do nothing or anything like that. Like he not in the mall blowing no money. Like he ain't no 5-star restaurants. Like he really don't be doing nothing. Like he might go skate or something, but like other than that, like that nigga don't be really doing shit like with the money he's supposed to have. Like he got all this motion. You would think he'd be tripping like something. Like nah, he not doing none of that. So to me personally, the life is kept. And I was just mad because I felt like damn, like I flew here to see you, and this happened. Never doing it again. And then his excuse was, well, you knew what I had going on and you still came. Nigga, you never told me not to come. When I checked in with you and we spoke, you told me to still come. It wasn't an issue. And you was going to get a sitter. Like, what? That don't even make sense. Like, make it make sense. I would have stayed the fuck home. I'm not that pressed to see no nigga. Like, bitch, you know, I get niggas. Like, what?
Yeah.
Be for real. I was just upset at the fact that you still allowed me to come or whatever like that, knowing that you was going to do that or whatever the case may be. And I'm not saying he lying about getting his kid, because bitches do that. Like bitches that know it's a Valentine's Day week or something going on and be like, oh yeah, you not, I'm going to stick him with the kid because I don't want him to be with no other bitch. So it do be like that, but still, like, come on, yo. Like, I don't live down the street. I live in another state. I flew there.
But again, that to me is just like, bro, that's your fault though. You flew there.
And you ain't her.
Like that's the only part that kind of just throw me off a little bit because it's like
you ain't her. You talking about I deal with a rapper and I don't want to talk about who he is. Nigga, do you not her?
Yeah, that was just to me, it was just a little bit thirsty. And
like you bought a Spirit, you bought a Spirit ticket out there. right? So you didn't pay that much. It wasn't like you flying first class or nothing like that.
Yeah, I mean, but
And
again,
then
like I said,
and then you bought a hotel. All right, cool. How much money did you really spend? You talking about I'll be tripping?
no, listen to what I'm saying. I think one,
Kevin
yeah, I
around.
do think she was putting. I mean, let's be clear. I don't know how much the flight was. I mean, of course, at this point, I'd be hearing a lot of people saying flights are super cheap because a lot of people not running the geek to sit here and go fly nowhere because of all the plane crashes. So I don't necessarily know how much the flight was, but I'm sure, even especially if she was trying to stay like downtown Atlanta, close to the airport, trying to go to Atlanta during Valentine's Day weekend, I could imagine that a lot of the good hotels was probably already booked up. So I'm sure she probably was a little bit sick to her stomach that you probably had to just go stay in like a Motel 6 or something crazy like that. But again, to me, it seemed like she was
You
just
shouldn't have
gigging.
went out there.
Of course, but that's why my whole point of what I'm saying is that sometimes when women are just so eager to kind of get dick down, and I even seen one of the jumps where he was asked, when she asked him, has a girl ever used a throat spray on him before? I know what a throat spray is.
Mm-hmm.
I never heard of it before until this, but I think it is the age gap too between. I think she like 30 something, he in his 20s, so it was kind of just like he kind of was like he was a little turned off because he was like, "What you mean?" And I think she asked him, "Has he ever got his butt ate?" So she was asking him like, "Has he ever used the throat spray?" And has he ever?
That's why she booked the flight and everything.
Yeah, of course, but that's why I'm saying. That's why I said I do think she was a little bit thirsty because I think if a nigga geeking hard enough, he gonna buy his own flight. Like, and I don't want to discourage because I feel like I'm cock blocking. And me sitting here saying, "Oh, ladies, don't book your flight," because I'm sure like that's some hating shit to me. It sounds like you shouldn't. I ain't supposed to say that as a man, but it's still just again listening to it. It's like,
but that's cool. That's cool. That's fine. If you book your own flight, pay for your hotel, cool. I'm still gonna come through. He gave you the runaround because he wasn't coming.
No, for sure. No, listen to what I'm saying. And that's basically what he said in his video. In his response video, that's realistically what he was saying.
He was not coming. I was hoping you probably would be like, "All right, I'm gonna cancel."
And no, listen,
and reschedule.
And guess what? And that what you just said is everything.
How many times a nigga done sit here and got a hotel? Oh, I'm about to what's name? Oh yeah, boom, 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 and sure you fall asleep or sure you don't answer the phone call.
For sure.
Yeah, but I would not sit here and travel somewhere and it's not guaranteed.
Yeah, and that's basically what he said in his joint. Like I said, he talked kind of slow, so I really don't want to sit here and play his joint out because I felt like that was
I'm
long
sure. That's
enough.
what I said.
But that was basically
when
his
he bought
answer,
the
though.
kids, and I'm pretty sure he wasn't about to come out.
And that's basically,
and you
what he
should have
said.
took it as that.
And that's basically what he said. And that's absolutely what he said in his talking point. So like I said, I don't have to play his part because that's exactly what he said. He was like, "Bro, I told you I had my kid. I thought that you would realistically use your common sense and just
like,
cancel
all right,
the
the
trip.
next time.
Yeah, maybe I'll just catch you the next time and just cancel the trip."
And that's why when you said Valentine's, I'm like, what? Like, you about to go fly out to somebody you ain't never
But
seen.
listen to what I'm saying. But that's why I told you last week. People be that
No,
desperate.
I hear you. Going out on a date, cool. Like, hey, yeah, let's go. But you talking about flying to go see somebody for the first time?
No, listen
on
to what I'm saying.
Valentine's
Listen to what I'm saying. I could
That's
no, listen to what I'm
fucking
saying. No,
nuts.
listen to what I'm saying. I could imagine it that happening, but I couldn't imagine a woman had to pay for her own flight.
On
Because,
Valentine's, yes.
No, so that's what I'm saying. So if because me and you was building, let's just sit here and say, hey, we've been talking, we've been DMing, we've been texting each other for a couple months now. So let's just sit here and say from Thanksgiving to leading up to Valentine's Day, and we planning for our first time to link up. And that's what I'm saying. To me as a man, just listening to a woman, it sounds desperate because it was like, cool. If we've been talking and we've been kind of building up the anticipation. And you talking about this is on Valentine's Day weekend. There's no way in hell you should have been paying for your own flight.
Yeah, no, like I said, when you said that, I'm thinking you talking about somebody out just random out your DM, like, oh, I want to spend Valentine's. Let's go. I want to go on a date. Like, yeah, that's some desperate ass shit. I'm not doing that shit on Valentine's.
I mean, what's the difference between what she did? That's almost, to me, that's even more desperate.
No, it is. That's because you sit here and flew out of it. Yes, that is. But I'm just saying, like, that's just crazy for it to be sitting here Valentine's Day and you sitting here just taking anybody because you want to be treated.
I mean, like I said, it happened, and it definitely happened to her. So, like I said, I don't want to sit here and I don't want to throw too much salt on people, but I would think realistically, ladies, you probably should think. You probably need to think twice about it a little bit before you sit here and just jump out there and be like, I'm gonna go sit here and buy my own ticket to go see a man. So I think it was, of course, it was a video. Was this she talking about T and Tamara?
I think Queen, but it's genuinely true. Like, you cannot date your type. If you are constantly dating your type and it ain't working out, girl, check them DMs. Look at his picture. If it's like, that's the one. I'm telling you, baby. When I met my boyfriend, who's my husband now.
Oh, all right.
He'll even tell you.
Oh, okay, real quick. So this is a different video. So, okay, I'm about to play this clip of this woman who basically sit here saying, if you really want to get married and you're looking for a long-term relationship, you should start not dating your type.
So basically, but in this whole process of how she explained it, and when I played the clip of her explaining, it was basically like her kind of almost basically damn near shitting on her husband, basically saying like, yeah, I kind of was spinning him for a minute, and he was a little, and it took me a second to actually really like him because he wasn't the greatest on the eyes.
But that's not shitting on him.
I mean, I'm a player, and we can debate if it is not shitting on him.
Maybe it took me a little minute to, you know what I'm saying? You know, it took me about 2 days to start liking him. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being for real. By 2 days, okay? Because I was so used to like talking to light-skinned boys or just talking to boys who were more worried about their self, right? I done met a roughneck country bumpkin nigga who would do everything for me, and I almost passed him up because he was dark-skinned. A little rough. Oh, y'all, when I tell you I would have been out here working 3 jobs, I'm telling you right now, them niggas that care about themselves, they're going to have you out here working 3 jobs just to fulfill what they need and their purpose in life. Baby, my man ain't never told me to go get no job. When he came to see me and he told my mom and them, he said, no, I want to take her so I can take care of her. I got this. My daddy handed me over so freely because he said, oh, okay. Because his actions had already shown who he was. I'm telling y'all, this man learned I was a vegetarian then. When he met me, this man learned everything that I like to eat. I got out of practice one day, out of basketball practice. I was so tired, so hungry. I went to go see him while he pulled out my favorite. I'm telling you, if he wanted to, he would. That's why I be looking at people like, girl, my man Ben showed me who he was in 2011. I ain't never letting go. I ain't never letting go. This is us. When I tell you I'm never letting go of that nigga, because he ain't never letting me go. And when you got somebody that ain't never letting you go because you ain't never letting them go, baby, get out of here. I'm just saying for real though, like, y'all please stop dating like that. Like, it's kind of like a fairy tale. Seriously. Why are you dating somebody that is like as beautiful as you are? Let that nigga be obsessed with you. I'm just saying, I'm sorry, whatever. But I ain't even gonna lie, girl. After them 2 days, that 48 hours, baby, he had me so dipped. My doggone nose was so wide open. I had just knew I loved that man and he loved me too. I ain't even lying. We fell in love so quick, like so fast. And when I tell you he's so fine to me, like I will lick. My husband is so fine to me. I'm telling you.
Hold on. So you saying you'll be
and when
you will be okay with your wife talking about you like that?
Yeah. What did she say wrong? Because I wasn't light skinned?
No, basically saying nigga, you wasn't the best looking thing, but you
okay. But then she just said she would lick the God knows whatever she's about to lick because of you. What the hell, dog?
So
you got a serious.
He was dark skinned
Yeah.
because he did the same
she
thing.
Praised his ass.
He did the same thing. He made a clip about her too, saying he wasn't attracted to her either. But then I don't know how true that was. But he's not an ugly dude. So I think she was saying more so he was dark skinned. She not used to dating dark skinned dudes.
I said I didn't see his response video, but to me, even when I'm listening to it, it still sounds like she was basically sitting here saying, "Yeah, he wasn't my type because the niggas that's my type normally is just as pretty as me." So
yeah, but that's not shitting on you.
Yeah, you basically saying, "Go find you a little medium ugly nigga, and he gonna worship the ground you walk on."
But that's not shitting on you, dog. That's
man, I don't want you to be telling the world the only reason why you fuck with me is because I worship the ground you was ugly. Because now you're gonna make me think of, so the niggas you used to talk to used to run over top of you and wouldn't do shit for you because that your type, you probably wasn't as you probably thought you was that. You probably thought you was that
because you didn't know no better. Nah. You didn't know no better. You don't know what love is. I showed you love. Now you would sit here worship the ground that I walk on. You wouldn't even dare look at them niggas now. I don't have to be the best looking nigga, but you wouldn't dare look at them niggas.
Yeah, because you know them niggas ain't gonna treat you like nothing.
Right. So I think you value looks more than getting treated right.
No. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm with you. And I probably realistically do.
You do.
No. Listen, I do, but I need that shit to meet me like halfway.
What you mean?
Like I don't want to sit here and say because again, we going back to the word we always say, like settling. This is what I'm saying. I don't want to sit here and deal with a 5 just because she gonna treat me perfectly. Like meet me halfway. Like cool, a 7.
Like if you see her saying she a 7 on the regular, like her normal regular work day is a 7, and like on her birthday and the holidays, she can clean herself up to be a 10. I'm cool with that. I'm not saying here, but I'm not about to make no dramatic drop off where I can sit here and say I used to date all the dimes, and then I married a fucking 5 because she treated me like a king. Man, I'm not doing that. Oh, that's crazy.
Why? If the 10s treated you like shit, what the right? Or you 50-50, or you busting
and
your
you
ass
spending
all
all
the
this
time.
damn money on them, but a
And
5 take
treat-
care of you, and you ain't got to spend a dime, and she worshiping you and treat you right, showing you better. What? Come on, make that make sense.
So question. So you sit here saying in your day, you never sit here and laid up with a woman and you couldn't get hard because basically what you basically saying is you damn near like a prostitute now. So I'm telling you, I've seen here and we like, you know how sometimes
I'm being a prostitute. What you mean?
That's what I'm saying. Because you basically sit here saying just because somebody treats you better and willing to worship the ground you walk on, you should throw out what you like looking at.
She could still she's still she's just not a whatever a 10 is to you, but she's still attractive.
So hold on.
So you'd rather be with a 10 and they treat you like shit and you run
And they
around
just
like
using you?
No, I ain't saying no. Listen, I ain't saying, that's why I said I gotta meet somewhere in the middle. I don't want somebody where I feel like they're using me, but at the same time, I don't want somebody. No, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to date somebody where I feel like I'm getting used, but I don't want to date somebody I feel like I gotta damn near go to the fucking gas station every day and get rhino pills to want to have sex with neither. Because I don't find them physically attractive. Just because you treat me nice don't necessarily mean that I'm gonna sit here and be able to lay up in that bed every night. Or you looking at a junk like, bro, I don't want to eat this broad out. Like, there's some women that you be like, bro, I'm not gonna eat her out. Or even if I'm having sex, I ain't even trying to kiss her. Like, I don't want to sit here and be like, that's gonna be the person I'm gonna marry because they treat me nice. Like, nah, dog, I gotta meet me somewhere in between. Like I said, you ain't gotta get if you know for a fact that the 10s ain't doing you really no justice. But I got, bro, I'm not going all the way down because I'm telling you, you're gonna be like, bro, I don't even want to fuck this girl.
Right, but in his eyes, she probably looks good, right? To you, she didn't find you attractive because you was dark skinned. She like light skinned niggas.
Let's take the color part out. I mean,
but that's
cool.
the only thing she said.
I mean, that's what
that was the only thing she said. Because she used to dating light skinned niggas that clean cut. He was a little rough and he was a country boy. He had an accent. He was a little country boy. That don't mean he wasn't well dressed or put together.
That don't mean he was ugly.
Right.
It just wasn't what she normally would go for.
She would go for the pretty boy, the light skinned niggas.
That shit just sounds disrespectful. Give me, like I said,
it's not like she was, he short, he ugly, he fat, you know what I'm saying? He need to lose weight, but I still know. It's like
she did not shit on that nigga. She praised his ass.
Yeah, I guess. I guess to change the speed up a little bit. I do want to play this clip of 2 clips. I want to play this one clip of Kevin Durant, and I also want to play just a clip of they was asking all the moms at All-Star Weekend, like, what's something that you know, something about your kid that other people wouldn't know.
But the one thing that people don't know about Kevin is that Kevin could clean a bathroom. Like, he would probably be like, Mom.
Is he gonna be okay if we put this on the social?
Well, Mama told it.
Jalen's a huge Dragon Ball Z. Goku, I think, is this. Oh, yeah, that's him. And Jalen, he can really dance. And he's a jokester. He is a very good actor. Actor? Yes. And growing up, he is actually in entertainment.
He was a huge wrestling fan. He had wrestling buddies. I don't think they make those anymore. Malik liked acting. He had his first audition when he was 6 years old.
But the one.
So that was Kevin Durant. That was Jalen Brunson, Malik Beasley, Tyrese Maxey. I think that was all of them. That was their mom. So I don't want to play this other clip. Of course, it was going viral of Kevin Durant because Netflix did put out a series. Netflix has a series basically around the Olympic team from this summer's U.S. basketball team. So it was clips. It was clips around Kevin Durant just talking about where he came from and how much basketball affected his life. And of course, the video that went super viral and got picked up on all the other ones was Anthony Edwards. So I mean, we can talk about Anthony Edwards after I play this Kevin Durant job.
I can tell how much he hates you, man.
Nah, for sure. For sure. Because it's like, I come from neighborhoods where people don't even talk to each other. Like, so much hate in the world, too. It's like, when people get to start laughing and joking for the game of ball, like, it's cool to me. So, like, you get me emotional, dog. But, because it's crazy to see, because, like, it's crazy to see somebody say they travel so long to come see their favorite player play in the Olympics. They spend their money, they bring their whole family. Like,
It's just dope to me. The game didn't save my life, so it brought me and my family out of a lot of bullshit. So I'm just like grateful for it, for real.
And I'm sure, I think some people probably seen it because Kevin Durant ain't a super personal person, and because Kevin Durant is, of course, literally from like walking distance from where me and Marcus was raised at. So he's not put, I don't know, because the way he come off, I don't think because Kevin Durant really don't like, this is the first time I even seen him this emotional, and he's not a super personal person. Like, I think like you see clips, you hear interviews of him, but like I don't think people really kind of know Kevin Durant for real. Like how people may feel like I can kind of tell you what type of person Steph Curry is or what type of person LeBron James is. I think Kevin Durant has did a great job at kind of still being at the same level of celebrity as these two dudes is, but not being as personal as these two are neither. So you kind of really don't know a lot about him. So even, and Kevin Durant don't carry himself like, oh, I come from like how Ja Morant and Anthony Edwards try to come off like they from the hood. Like, listen to what I'm telling y'all. Kevin Durant is real live, really from the hood. But he don't carry himself like that. He carry himself like, bro, I'm here to play basketball, and that's it. And that's kind of like the most you really starting to get out of Kevin Durant is now because he a little bit older, so he be on social media and kind of be just snapping on niggas and saying whatever he feel like. Like he really kind of got into it over the weekend with niggas about because he was giving J. Cole some credit for J. Cole put out that I ain't gonna say freestyle, but he put out that song on his blog page, and he was showing showing J. Cole some love. And then of course, you know, the Kendrick Lamar fans got in his whatever the case may be, and he was like, nigga, Drake my goat. I don't care what y'all niggas talking about. Y'all can get the fuck out of my out of my tweets and my mentions with that. But like I said, that was just to me my first time actually getting to see that side of Kevin Durant.
Because he still got that I mean, well, that was the MVP speech when he said his mother was the real MVP. And he broke down and cried.
But that's what I'm saying, though. But you really don't you don't really get to see that. And that was so long ago. Most people probably even forget about that. Like people, of course, bring it up all the time. Like during Mother's Day, people share that, you know what I'm saying? Happy Mama's Day, whatever the case may be. You the real MVP. Yeah. Like that's the thing. But I just don't think people really, it ain't too much. Like you really like Kevin Durant is one of them people where if you don't really know too much about him, like he really don't he don't got no crazy dating life or nothing. It's like, he kind of really just keep it hoops and that's it. Like it's honestly not that, it's not too much going on around him. And I do, of course, like I said, we could talk about the Anthony Edwards situation. So I'm sure for most people, you've seen the video that was going viral of Anthony Edwards having a back and forth with former President Barack Obama. And a lot of people felt some type of way about it. And a lot of people was like, had their panties in a bunch about it. Like, oh, how you talking to the president like that? You disrespectful, this and the third. Like, that's why I'm starting to not like you. And I feel like if you have those opinions because of Anthony Edwards back and forth with Obama, I just don't think you know nothing about sports in the first place. I don't think sports is not really your get down. You don't know too much about basketball or how an athlete is supposed to carry himself. Or I don't think you know why Anthony Edwards is popular. Anthony Edwards is popular for way worse comments than this little back and forth with him and Obama.
I didn't think I saw it. What do you think about this young guy? He can hoop a little bit, huh? Just a little bit, huh?
Y'all better stand down. I'm the truth.
He's the truth. He said he's the truth. Yeah.
You boy know.
I guess.
He cold though. I gotta give him credit. He give up 50 every time we play him.
I mean,
like I ain't 7 foot.
And y'all got 2 7-footers and he's still.
Hold on.
Huh?
Don't talk. We ain't gonna do all that.
No, I'm just saying.
3 7-footers.
He got 3. That's right, because he got 9 ring credit.
I told you that. I said
he did. I gave him credit. I remember that. Okay, LeBron. Listen, are y'all talking to this young man? Because he just keeps on. Right now, he just said he's the truth and all that, and
the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
That's what he said.
You asked him. You tell him the whole context of the situation, though. You asked him what he think about this young man, and he said, "I'm okay." I said, "I'm the truth." He tripping. That's what happened.
Nothing wrong with that. Say nothing wrong with that. Gotta have that.
Yeah, that man the truth.
Gotta have a little swag like that.
He ain't lying. Hey, Reese, what that is right there? Strawberry lemonade? It got like alcohol? No. Oh, I'll take one.
So, like I said, I think it's just a lot of up in arms about. People was mad saying he shouldn't be talking to Obama like that.
What they talking sports?
Exactly. But you understand that because you talk sports, with older people, I'm sure, at your job, you talk sports with your father. You are a man and growing up talking about sports. just because this is my elder, that don't mean I cut off my swag and my charisma on how I feel about a sport or my favorite player. And he's just talking about himself. It ain't like they having some fan conversation, Jordan versus LeBron. He talking about he talking about him, his real self. And it was kind of more directly like Joel and be like, yeah, he cool. Like, he okay. What you mean I'm okay, nigga? I'm the truth. What you mean I'm okay? Like, what else? I don't understand. And of course, I can kind of even, y'all know, I know y'all did not think there was no way on God. I waited a little bit. Y'all know my young 2020. That's all I'm saying. And people was upset with her because at the end of the game, she did the hootie hoo. If you don't watch Unraveled, you probably not going to be hip to it. You don't even know what I'm talking about. But over the weekend, what was that, Friday night, what was it, the Roses versus the Luna Owls. The Luna Owls was 8-0 in the Unraveled on the 3-on-3 situation. They came in, they was the best team, they was ranked number 1. We already talked about that last week. Nafisa Collier won the one-on-one jump. So they got the best team. I ain't got the best player in the league, and nigga Angel Reese and their team cooked them. And she came out and did the hootie hoo. And Lisa Leslie was even on the jump and was kind of like, and of course Lisa Leslie has been working with Angel Reese, and she kind of was like, I get it, but I don't want Lisa Leslie understand how much hate Angel Reese gets. She was like, I don't think Angel Reese should have did the hootie hoo thing. Like, I want her to be able to win and just kind of win gracefully and leave.
Because you didn't eliminate him, right? It was just
it's just a regular season game. Yeah, it was just a regular. Yeah, it was just a regular season game.
I get that. You got to keep your poser. Because if this was the playoffs and you eliminated him, then cool, run your shit. Of course. But this is just a regular season game, and you ain't got like, I get it if you would have knocked them off.
Because you got to play him again,
Yeah, you got to play him again, and that's what gonna bite you back in the butt.
It's what's gonna bite you in the butt is if you play him again and then you play like shit.
Yeah.
Or if you play him again, even if you play good and they blow you out. But I think realistically, if you've been watching the league, that's their little signature thing. They kind of, it's just like,
it's a little call. Yeah. But I like I said, I get it where you trying to humble her and try to like, all right, I'm trying to brace you for the impact that you're going to get. Because like you said, you're going to get backlash for what you did.
Of course.
And then you know how these girls gonna come at you.
Of course. But that's the thing though. But realistically, and I think that for men's sport, it's a little bit, it's more normal. And you've seen a lot of people going back, and that's why I brought it in with the Anthony Edwards thing, because a lot of people on social media was their defense for Angel Reese, where it was like, and nobody, and of course, I mean, it was just people just having friendly dialogue, but there were people who was upset about her doing it, and people was kind of like, damn, they wish Lisa Leslie wouldn't have said it, because now people gonna try to use Lisa Leslie, because of course Lisa Leslie is in the McDonald's commercial with her, and Lisa Leslie has been working out with her, and you can see it. That game, you can see it, and of course Lisa Leslie is doing the commentating, doing the halftime, and you could clear as day, like if you watch that game, it was like, oh, all the shit Lisa Leslie really been working with her. It was there. She like literally, she busting Nafisa Collier ass. Angel Reese, and of course the difference between, like, even when I talked about Nafisa Collier, she played more like a Dirk Nowitzki. Her game is more finesse. Angel Reese is way more physical. So you know how that goes. Like me even being a diehard Dirk Nowitzki fan, when he played a nigga like Kevin Garnett, that's more physical and more aggressive. The more aggressive nigga, sometimes he gonna get the best out of you if your finesse game ain't there. So with all that being lead up, and with that said, it just still made it where it's like so many people was excited about it, because nigga, they was 8-0. They been beating everybody's ass. So you know how that's almost just like how niggas feel about the Chiefs. Like, nigga, they beat everybody's ass, and at the end of every game, they hootie hoo. And people like, if that's not your team, you get tired of it. Be like, damn, bro, they do this shit every night.
Right.
They come and beating everybody's ass, and they hootie hoo, and then shit, nigga, I just had 22 points, 21 boards. Nigga, I'm gonna hootie hoo this motherfucker to the door. And then she do the belt the ass, and you know that was a big thing. Of course, during the college, not during the college, but during the high school football season, because some coaches was mad that all the high school players was doing the belt the ass shit. And nigga, their team been doing that all the time at practice when they be having their little competition. So they did it. They did the belt the ass and all that. Listen to what I'm saying. Y'all know Angel Reese is my kind of get down. That's my type of nigga. I'm always into the nigga shit. So that kind of just went hand in hand. But people was like, bro, that's why niggas like Anthony Edwards, and she's just a woman, and most people not used to women doing that type of shit.
Right. And I'm all for it. And like him be trying to tell you, then stay the villain. Don't apologize. Just stay that role.
But that's to me, that's not a villain. That's just like, nigga.
No. What I'm saying is, if you gonna talk your shit, you gonna pop your shit. Keep being that person. Don't apologize. Oh, I didn't mean. I'm trying. Like, be that person.
Oh yeah, she ain't apologizing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying. Just stay on that. Stay on that. Like, be Draymond. Be the fucking pain in the ass. Be that person. And you got to take your bumps with your bruises. You can't. That's my only thing. Is like, don't talk it, then hide your tail, and then you don't want to talk about it when you play. You know what I'm saying? When you stink it up.
Yeah, but I think that's any athlete though. We seen Cam Newton do this shit. When Cam Newton was dabbing all over niggas, and then he got to Super Bowl, got his cheeks clapped. He didn't want to talk to niggas.
Right, and but then that's what I'm saying, and that took away from his game, because even when they made him, when the lady wrote that letter about him doing all the dabbing and saying, oh, that's disrespectful and all that. And he stopped doing the dabbing. His game went downhill from there. So that's what I'm saying. Just keep don't change up who you are. If that's what you're going to do, you're going to talk your shit, you're going to pop your shit, be that person all the time.
Of course, and you know the crazy, and the shout out to Skylar Diggins. Of course, their very next game, and then we can get back into whatever else after that. But then they won, so they won yesterday, and their game, and it didn't hit the same. Like that little hootie who didn't hit the game, and Skylar Diggins had her little moment, and people was kind of just laughing, and niggas was laughing at her for that because it was just like, all right, yeah, I hear you, bro, but that shit don't hit the same like it did before you got beat. Because then when you get beat, it's a little. I'm gonna play what Skylar Diggins said.
Has been carrying this league since day one, and we've been taking it serious. We made everybody raise their level of play, and tonight we show why we still number one. So it's still hootie hoo. It felt.
And like I said, people just like that shit. That shit to me, it gives for women. I think women don't have that level of intensity when it comes to sports. So for somebody like me, I like this shit, bro. I like Skylar Diggins. I like that shit talking. I like Angel Reese and them doing the belt to the ass shit because it's just like, bro, that shit tight to me. Like, because you don't see that from women, and you don't expect that level of trash talk from women. So when you get it from a woman, I appreciate it. I like it, and it make the games way more entertaining. And that's why niggas like Ja Morant. That's why you like whatever all the other people. But I'm gonna play the jungle, and then we can get into it. I'm gonna lose that, John. I'm tripping. Oh, here you go.
Don't say ass. Don't say ass.
No, I was just wanting to play that little John. Yeah, but okay, we can move into Irv Gotti. Of course, rest in peace to Irv Gotti. Irv Gotti had his funeral over the weekend. It was a private funeral, but I guess after the funeral, I want to say maybe like yesterday or something. It was either yesterday or what today, Sunday. So yeah, yesterday, Dame Dash and Irv Gotti's brother Chris Gotti were having a conversation, and they were talking about just health, and he was explaining how Irv Gotti kind of just didn't take the diabetes situation serious when he probably should have a long time ago, and leading up to even him passing, it was him still not eating healthy. It was still him not eating healthy and him still not really. So I do want to play this clip because y'all know that's something that I believe in a lot, where people kind of really just got to lock in, especially as Black people. We got to kind of
with
really
diabetes
lock in on our health, because diabetes, I talked about that a million times on him. Diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. It's a real thing. It is something that is kind of sad thing. It is, I don't want to say it's hereditary in the Black community, because probably even just if we're being honest, it's hereditary in our lifestyle of the way we eat. Certain foods that we love to eat realistically ain't good for us. Even like I said, when he get into the story, even talking about the carry out, eating Chinese food, like all of that shit is not, you got to eat it in moderation. You can't just OD and that's your diet, because realistically it's going to lead to those situations. And even before I play this clip, I can kind of even sit here, it's not confirmed, but most people are just kind of going out on a limb and guessing. That's what happened to LeVar Ball. And because LeVar Ball got his foot amputated, and let's be clear, LeVar Ball still kind of in high spirits, but it's just still like, I'm sure the sad thing, like we said, when even I play this clip of Irv Gotti, brother talking about it, Black men, we just kind of want to be like, we really don't be rushing to go to our doctors like that, and we really ain't rushing to go get checked out and stuff like that. We kind of try to thug it out a lot. But realistically, you got to you can't really thug it out, especially if you know for a fact your diet is super horrible. Like if you ain't taking time to really get on, you're not working out, you're not eating your fruits and vegetables, you're not drinking enough water, you're not really taking care of yourself, you gotta go to the doctors, and you gotta listen to the doctor. You can't just go and then sit, because I told y'all that even with my dad, he do that, like, oh yeah, they tell you to get off of sodas, and as soon as you kind of get your blood levels back to the right way, you back to drinking sodas. And that's just kind of like, if you know them sodas is probably one of the reasons that put you in this situation, you shouldn't get back to them just because now they saying, okay, you can drink them again. Like, no, don't drink them at all no more. Like, cut that shit out. But again, like I said, men gonna be men, and that's just the stubbornness between men. But I'm gonna, like I said, let me play this clip of Irv Gotti, brother Chris Gotti.
So he's 54. I believe he was diagnosed when he was in his 40s.
Yeah,
late 40s. But Irv doesn't go to the doctor, so that's why he's so late being diagnosed, right? And then when he finally did go get a real physical and a checkup, he's like, "You're diabetic," and he didn't believe it. You know, my dad.
You were type 1, Chris?
Irv was type 1. Irv was type 1, and then it started with type 2, developed into type 1. So my dad was diabetic. He passed at 86. And when we talk about this topic, why it's so dear and sensitive for me as I watched him suffer the last 3 years of his life. So it's about quality of life. When Dame is talking about being able to be with his kids, it's about quality of life and the way you actually can stay here and keep doing that. We all have to go at one point in time. We just really want to go on our terms. That's how I look at it. And Irv, sadly enough, he did go on his terms. He just didn't believe it, and he was like, "I'm going to go the way basically I wanted." He ate a bunch of Chinese food while playing poker, and had a massive hemorrhagic stroke, which is bleeding on the brain. And then we talk diabetes, and I know Dame is saying diabetes. Diabetes is not what kills you. It's always something else. It's what diabetes does to the body that actually takes your life. Like it broke down his body where it was blockage and going to his brain. It created the strokes, but it's all stems from the diabetic issues that comes from diabetes. You know, it may have liver failure, kidney failure, and these are the things that actually consume or take your life. But I don't know anyone that's, and I know you have a doctor.
The calcium, you know, rough, and you have to watch those strokes because it can clog up the arteries.
Yes.
Got to be taking pills. So I take those pills and I get those examinations. It's just when you, I guess my approach on diabetes, I would say might be lucky because I was diagnosed when I was 15, and for 2-3 months, I was thirsty. Like 2 months, I lost a lot of weight. I thought I had AIDS. So I thought it was something that I wouldn't be able to beat. And what I told God was, if you give me another chance, I'm going to live life to the fullest. So when I finally went to the doctor and they told me I had diabetes, I actually was happy. Like, oh, it's just diabetes. I could take a needle and feel better. So for me, I thought I had.
That's crazy to want to think you had AIDS and then it was just like, oh damn, I ain't got AIDS, I just got diabetes. But again, it's just we're talking about just what you eat. And I don't, like I said, I'm not a what you call it, a personal trainer or no health and nutrition person, but I'm somebody who's been fat before. I'm somebody who like to eat junk food, and I'm telling you, and that's why I always recommend to people, just get you a sweat bag, get you one. And I know a lot of people like, oh, that's not it. Listen, I'm telling you, especially during the wintertime when these gyms be having a fan on and it ain't as hot in the gym and you can't really go outside and get no crazy sweat. Buy you one of them sweat bags, get you one of them Jones just to help you sweat even more, because you're talking about high blood pressure and the salt and all that, because a lot of that weight just be water weight. Like even sometimes if you wake up early in the morning, you feel like your face is a little bit more puffier than it normally was before you even went to bed. A lot of times that just be water weight. It'd be sometimes, and when I say water weight, it's not talking about like, hey, I'm drinking too much water. No, your body is carrying around a lot of salt. So if you ate carbs before you went to bed, your body, it will start to carry a lot of those carbs, and your face and stuff will start to puff up. I'm telling you that when they say it's water weight, that's why if you watch boxing and they sitting here they got to do their weigh-ins, and that's why a lot of boxers wear the sweat jumps, because they're trying to make weight, and a lot of times you don't want to carry around that extra water weight from eating too many carbs or eating stuff with too much salt in it. So you need to sweat out that extra stuff. So that would just be something I always recommend people. I ain't sitting here telling you I can't tell you how to sit here and get a six-pack or none of that other crazy stuff. All I can tell you is we talking about just actual doing cardio, and you want to just be able to actually make sure your heart is moving and you're actually sweating on a day-to-day basis. Get your ass on it. If you don't like the treadmill, get on the elliptical or get on the Stairmaster and get you one of them sweat jumps. Especially if you know for a fact, hey, I'm old, I'm not really in shape like that, I'm not gonna be able to sit here. It ain't even gotta even be if you old, or you just know for a fact I'm not really in shape, so I'm not gonna be able to get on the treadmill and run. You want to walk at a decent pace where it's like, okay, cool. I know for a fact if I was really in good shape, I could probably run. Let me help my body get that same sweat that I would get if I was running. So go get you one of them little sweat jumps. Some jumps gonna literally cost nothing but $19. And you can sit here and wear them until they mess up and buy you another one. Or you can, if you really got some bread you want to waste, they got some jumps that's like $150. Them the good quality jumps. They got some of them jumps you can put them in a washing machine. And matter of fact, if you on TikTok, I see they always be advertising the jump now in the TikTok shop. They got the ones where it's the good material, but of course it's a little bit more expensive. It's not no $19 jump. Them jumps may be like $80, but you can put them in the washing machine. But again, like I said, it just help you get that extra sweat and break that sweat that you may not realistically, if you're not in real good shape and you know for a fact I ain't about to be on this treadmill running at a 10 speed or whatever the case may be, and you still trying to get that sweat, bro, get you one of them little sweat joints. Help sit here and keep your body in shape. Like I said, of course, sweating and doing a bunch of cardio, yeah, you won't sit here and gain no muscle from it. And that's something that I had to learn the hard way, but it don't matter. You want to be in shape. You want your body to physically be good money. That's my only thing that I would sit here and recommend people. And of course, you still got to eventually cut off some of the sodas and juices and drink more water. And you got to figure out that balance. But I would just sit here and say, one, I wouldn't tell you to sit here and try to be dramatic and try to cut everything all off at once. Take your time with it, but still make sure you get your workouts in on the daily. That to me is the most important thing. Like, and they'll always tell you, you can't outbeat a bad diet. Yeah, I mean, cool. You still can lose weight though. You may not be able to get a 6-pack with it. A bad diet, but I done lost a lot of weight and still kept eating candy. Yeah, I might not got a 6-pack, but nigga, I got skinny as hell. So you can even figure that out. Like I said, just to kind of just pace yourself out and pace your body out, because you just don't want, like, bro, that's still so young. Like I said, and you don't really understand it until you actually getting older and you just hear these people dying at 50 something years old, and they'll be like, bro, if you listening to me now and you even just 30 on the nose, or 33, 35, you closer to 50. You don't want to sit here and be like, no, I just can't. I don't want to die at 50 years old. And I'm just, anybody listening to the sound of my voice right now, I'm sure you don't want to sit here and be like, damn, I'm dying at 50. Like, bro, that just sounds crazy. So it's like, just find out a way to just take care of yourself. Especially, I mean, the summertime right around the way. So, I mean, if you're only, I guess, style of even working out is just going outside walking. To be honest, I love walking outside. Then I even do the treadmill now. Like, I can't wait for the weather to actually break and you can go outside every day and just get your miles in. Especially when it's hot during the summertime and it's 90, 100 degrees somewhere. You can literally just break a sweat by walking a couple of miles. I can't wait for the summer. But again, moving into other things, Isaac Hayes III is catching a lot of hell on fan base. And of course, I think we talked about fan base before, especially when TikTok looked like it was about to shut down. And Isaac Hayes, of course, you know, his promo is this social media platform is black owned and is this, that, and the third. But I believe he was having a back and forth with a woman who originally it was an app, and I believe it was called Cookout. And I watched all these things. It was on, they was arguing, going back and forth on Twitter and TikTok. And he and she basically was sitting here saying that they came up with an app called Cookout, and this was when everybody was on Clubhouse. And at this time, this lady, she wasn't on Clubhouse. And she wasn't even familiar that people knew about her idea. And because she wasn't on Clubhouse, people were on Clubhouse acting like they were the people who owned Cookout, and they were doing like fundraising or whatever the case behind it, and like kind of messing up their business where they couldn't kind of really get Cookout off the ground. So it was kind of, she made it seem like Isaac Hayes was backing them, and he kind of took whatever they had going on from. It made it seem like that fan base thing ain't just, yeah, because it's just black, it's black, yeah, it's owned by black people, but it don't necessarily seem like the ethics behind it is really supporting other black people. And something that always kept telling me was like, damn, why I'm dragging my feet on fan base? Because you hear people talk about it, but you kind of really don't see people get behind it. Because I only really hear celebrities talk about fan base for real. Like I hear him, he go on the Breakfast Club, Charlamagne and them kind of like they're mentioning when he there, but you don't hear Charlamagne and them talking about fan base when he ain't in front of them. Like I hear people mention it, but the only time I hear people mention fan base is when he's in front of them. So I do want to play this clip of this woman kind of really getting into her real beef with Isaac Hayes and why other people felt some type of way about Isaac Hayes. And I kind of, when I seen these videos go viral, I'm like, and these people having these back and forths with him, I was kind of like, damn, I'm glad I didn't just jump on fan base. Because I thought about it. I kept questioning even myself, like, damn, why, man, this is a black-owned joint. You supposed to be on this super pro-black shit. Why you ain't supporting this man? And now I'm kind of like, oh, cool, glad I didn't.
Supporting Black liberation isn't the same as centering only Black men. We've seen this pattern far too often, men using pro-Black rhetoric as a shield, not to uplift all Black people, but to silence Black women when they challenge them. And right now, Isaac Hayes III is the latest example. So let's be very clear. Franchesca Ramsey never attacked fan base. She simply said that it wasn't for her or her audience. That's it. And instead of accepting that feedback, Isaac Hayes III decided to respond not with flat facts, not with meaningful engagement, but by digging up a 10-year-old wedding photo of Franchesca Ramsey and her ex-husband, as if that somehow invalidates her Blackness. Now, this is a textbook example of ego-driven reactivity, responding to criticism with personal attacks instead of reflection. Now, meanwhile, this man is propping up with known misogynist and racist, but Francesca is the problem. Please make it make sense to me. And let's shut down this anti-Black accusation right now. If there's anyone who has proven time and time again that they are pro-Black, it is the Francesca Ramsey, from the content she creates, the individual she advocates for, the people that she centers, the stories that she writes. She is undeniably pro-Black, and her contributions to Black culture and discourse speak for themselves. I could go on and on about her CV, but I only have 3 minutes, and that is not enough time to get into all the things that Francesca Ramsey has done, will do, and is doing. Now, this is a new behavior. This individual, Isaac Hayes III, has a pattern of antagonizing Black women, and it's a classic example of fragility where any critique from a Black woman is met with hostility instead of self-awareness. When Black women challenge him, the blame shifting and the deflection occurs instead of addressing the legitimate concerns about fan base's issues, his platform or his choices and his public behavior. He pivots to claiming that he's under attack for being a Black entrepreneur, deflecting to issues of racial exploitation by white-owned platforms, and painting himself as a victim while publicly attempting to humiliate a Black woman. But you ain't know we had her back, did you? This is not leadership. It's emotional maturity. Now that his own platform is using support, he wants to have a private conversation on fan base. No, an apology always needs to be at the same volume and the format as the disrespect. If you disrespected someone in front of thousands, you don't get to clean it up behind closed door. Public harm requires public accountability. Now, let's say something loud and clear. Being Black owned isn't enough. There's this dangerous assumption that because something is Black owned, we're supposed to accept lower quality, poor values, or problematic behavior. And I'll be the first to say it. I understand that Black people create high quality work too. I will always prioritize supporting Black business, Black creators, and Black innovators. But that doesn't mean I'm going to make excuses for bad values, bad interfaces, or bad behavior. And this isn't a new concept. First of all, one of the many things I learned at the Black Panther Party Museum is that they boycotted Black-owned businesses too. If those businesses weren't advocating for the Black community, they boycotted those too, because it's not just about being Black. It's about being Black and aligning with the values that actually support our people. So Isaac Hayes III wants to claim that Black people aren't supporting him and fan base. Maybe they're just not supporting you. Supporting.
Again, like I said, even with the fan base thing, and I said this before, I know I said this when we was talking about the TikTok thing, bro. It's just the algorithm thing. If you can prove that people, and that's why I sit here and say, I don't think it can be celebrities cannot make regular content creators run and go do something. And I said this, and I don't necessarily know if I said this out loud, but even when we talk about the no kid thing with Drake, I think we even live in the day and age where there's no more popular like Instagram. I'm not saying there's not Instagram girls by definition of what we call like IG models, but there's not a new crop of women who's about to get popular on social media because of their looks. Like the group of women who's already like the Jada Waders and the Aries, the ones that's already popular for their looks. Yeah, you can like that's cool, but I don't think nobody's gonna still be able to get just popular off of just pure looks with no personality anymore. And I think realistically, when somebody like Isaac Hayes, he was kind of trying to lean more in off the, oh, hey, let me get my celebrity friends to get on fan base, because no, regular people, the people who draw and push these social media apps are just normally regular people who become popular for their content. So if you sit here saying if a regular person feel like I can't, like even with Instagram, I see endless people complaining about it now where it's like, bro, Instagram, the algorithm is just trash. So I know that even for me sometimes where it just be like, bro, it don't make no sense that I still got more followers on Instagram, but I can still get videos like, even perfect example, talking about just off the Drake album last week. I kept like, when we talked about that, what was it? I feel like that was like whenever went off for All the Dogs came. I can't even remember. Remember when we was talking about him and Dylan Brooks? We played the clip and we was talking about him and Dylan Brooks had their little back and forth over a woman. So I was wondering, like, damn, last week I kept saying, why all these people keep commenting on this old video? But that's again, I'm sure people on because I guess he said something about that girl again on the new album. So I asked somebody, I'm like, can I ask you a question? Why this video going viral again? And she was like, oh, because Drake, people assuming that Drake shooting at Dylan Brooks again on that, whatever, because he mentioned that girl. Or he mentioned the situation about the girl. So I forgot what song they said it was on. But that to me was cool. And I'm like, damn, why this never happens on Instagram? It only happened on TikTok. Where it'll be just like even who else? I forgot what else recently happened, and it started to go. It just be so. It be anything. Matter of fact, it be any old thing. Like it be certain stuff that you don't even. I ain't got to talk about it again. Like if that person name go viral, like or even with the Stephon Diggs joke. Like we talked about it 2 weeks before Valentine's Day. Whatever video I made that too, and they was in the club together when Cardi was seen with him on Valentine's Day, that video started to go viral again on TikTok because it was like, oh, that name hot again, that conversation hot again. People starting to look it up again, and so now this video is starting to get more legs again. That never happens on Instagram. So if you sit here saying which am I going to prioritize more, I'm going to prioritize more the algorithm that is more favorite to me. Even if I'm talking about women's basketball, I know for a fact, oh, I get more traction on Threads and Twitter than I do on my IG. Oh, so now I'm gonna make videos and I'm only gonna sit here and post them on Threads. I do that all the time now. When I'm talking about the Unrivaled, I just do my videos and just post them on Threads because it's already a community on there, always constantly talking about women's basketball, and that algorithm is way more favorite on there. I don't necessarily know, like every time I hear again when I'm talking about fan base, I only hear it about, oh, he in the room, so now Charlamagne and them feel like I got to talk about it because he right here, or this other celebrity got him on their podcast, so now they talking about it. But I don't hear people just be like, oh, I got famous off of fan base. Because that'll make people run on it. Like, if I just seen a regular person, like just even with TikTok, with the dude what was the dark skin dude, and he made all that money off of TikTok, and he had like the highest endorsements or whatever the case.
The one that don't talk.
Yeah, he don't talk, but he was working at a warehouse. But that would make people be like, oh, damn, he made all that money on TikTok. Let me sit here and go get on TikTok because he a regular nigga. But if I'm sitting here I'm not about to sit here and go run and do something because a bunch of celebrities got on there. Nothing's going to push me to want to go do that.
Isaac, we're not talking about the
son. Yeah, his
son. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Isaac Hayes the third. The father dead, but yeah, the son. Isaac Hayes the third. Yeah. I guess, matter of fact, we can get into DL Hughley, or matter of fact, I played this clip of what's his nigga name? Reason.
Only fans that they only like Isaiah Rashad or whatever. So the fans that didn't like me before, they were consistent and they still don't like me, because when you sign with TDE, there's going to be TDE fans that don't fuck with you. It's just how it works. But the fans have been the only fans I really lost were fans that I shot myself in the foot in, but I had to do that to get out of the label deal. When the Drake beef started, I felt like Top and them were kind of like dragging their feet a little bit. I don't think purposely. I just think they had a lot of shit going on. And I knew that if I kind of like sparked a fire a little bit, that they'd be like, we got to separate from this. So I kind of like started tweeting shit on the side of Drake purposely because I saw how so there's fans that hate me for that. And
wait, what was the main tweet that fans hated you for?
They hated me when
I do remember you saying shit. I was just like,
just like, yeah, this is crazy. But I was purposely doing it. So I was talking to my boy LT, and he was like, bro, you got to turn it up if you want to get out of here in this year. Like, this is gonna drag. Like, I know how, because he's a lawyer. He does contracts. Right. He's like, I know how this shit works, bro. This should have taken 2.5 years, right? Unless you turn it up. So I tweeted. It was right after Push-Ups drop. I tweeted like, y'all hating this beat switch up is fire. And then I like let it sit for like 10 minutes and deleted it. It went crazy. And then, you know what I mean? And I still had the reason TDE. So it looked like insane. Right. It looked like super crazy. So I tweeted that. And then I also, I had a Rap Radar that I did. I mean, not a Rap Radar, the Green Room. Why am I
on the radar?
On the radar, yeah. I had on the radar that I did over a Drake beat, but this was before the beef even started.
Oh, wow.
And so they hit me. They're like, yo, we was about to drop it, but we don't want to, damage your situation. Should we hold it?
Run that shit.
Run it. Run it. Let's do it. Like, run it. And so that had like 5 million views on Twitter, and it was like mixed reviews. Like, some people like, this nigga gas and this shit fire, don't matter. Then other people like, what the fuck he rapping up? Because, fans, they only...
Shout out to him. That was smart. And the crazy thing is, because it's so messed up that like people got to go that extreme to be able to get out of some of their record deals. I mean, of course, I don't know what his deal was, but I feel like I'm sure he wasn't like had no crazy mixtape buzz before he got signed. So I'm sure he probably ain't really get signed for no real money. And I think that's the only thing that kind of like, I feel bad for rappers when it comes to the music business, because it's like you get in some of these contracts and they try to like strong arm you and hold you on to some of these deals. And realistically, you didn't even have no real crazy buzz before they even signed you. So it's like, why not just let me out of the joint? Like, I'm not dropping no music. I never put out no hit record for real. I'm just on your label because I can rap. Like, bro, just let me go.
But I think also I'm not gonna just let you go free willy. Because what if you just go out, just all of a sudden I let you go and then you pop?
Yeah, then maybe I okay, on my way of letting you out, maybe I put something in your deal where it's like, all right, if you get a hit record, I may even put in a contract, like if we let you out and you get a song or a project that shot in the top Billboard 200s, then we get a percentage of that. But if anything under that, you can keep it. Like, even if you put something like that, because I be feeling like, bro, some of these niggas, like, what are you even holding them for? Like that's why I kind of respect QC because QC was dropping niggas at one point. Like all of them niggas, like when the Migos first got hot, all them extra people that they had signing them because they was the Migos homeboys, nigga, they was dropping them niggas left there, right?
Because, but don't you? Okay, like let's use Jello right now. If he really that deal, let's say that deal was real, right? And if I gave you that deal with $8 million, I want my $8 million back, right?
Yeah, but I'm sure. I mean, I don't know. I don't necessarily know how much the license and the sicknesses pay out when they put it on like 2K and on Madden. Because let's be real. I mean, even if it's not on there this year, I'm 100% positive.
It's on 2K.
Oh, it's on 2K already. So that's my point. So they already getting money back off of that.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But I still need to recuperate all my money. I don't think that right there is not giving me that much. I'm sure that's not giving you that much. Because even if, like I said, I'm pretty sure
somebody use it for a TV show or a commercial. I don't necessarily know because I don't know how much I don't know how much that costs or how much you get paid.
I'm positive that ain't recruiting your $8 million. That ain't getting your $8 million back. Because I'm pretty sure when I gave you that $8 million, I'm expecting at least $10 million back.
Maybe, maybe it depends because if you say
nobody's just going
to sign the Def Jam, you got to think about it at the time. Like right now, what's the hot Def Jam artist?
No, I get it, but that's just like if you take out a loan, I don't want the exact. I want more than what I gave you.
And of course, I get that, but still, with some of these artists, I think sometimes for the labels, it's like I'm cool with just breaking even if the fact that if it's kind of getting my label's name back high.
I ain't gonna be cool with breaking even because I'm giving you money. I'm investing in you. I want some.
I get that, but what do you really give me money to do? What? Because I'm not printing up CDs no more. I ain't printing up posters.
Right.
No
so
more.
now, so I'm giving you. If I'm giving you this money, I'm just giving you the money to run around here and create an image for yourself, right? Not putting no money really into your work. So how you spend that money? So if I gave you that $8 million, you just blow that shit on whatever you buy. Like I want my money back plus interest.
And I get it, but I don't. But let's be real. We don't necessarily know if he really even actually got $8 million. Like,
no, we don't. We don't know it. But I'm just saying that's why I feel like that why people are in these contracts to death doing them apart.
No, but I get it. But you got them even if you keep it where you saying even with LiAngelo Ball, he actually still had a song. What's a Reason song?
No, you're right. But I'm saying I'm pretty sure he probably got signed that deal with whoever. You know what I'm saying? Like he probably got it off the Humble shit probably too.
I mean. Yeah, I don't necessarily know.
So I'm like I said,
I don't know no songs from Reason, so I ain't about to sit here and make it like I do know any songs from him. But I do want to real quick. I want to play. Matter of fact, I want to talk about the young lady that we talked about last week. So it was a video of her going viral. Of course, the young lady we talking about, the young lady who had the 2 kids freeze to death in Detroit. So it was a video of her after we talked about it. I believe this video started to float around maybe like Tuesday. And it was her at a house party, and she was like having a time of her life. They listen to Sexy Red and Glorilla, they turning it up. And in the comment section was kind of like split 50-50. Some people was basically saying, damn, where was all these people when you needed somewhere to stay at? And then there was some people like, damn, you just lost 2 kids, and this what you doing after you just lost 2 kids? So then I seen some people try to shoot her some bail where it was like, you can't tell people how to grieve. And I do get it. You can't tell people how to grieve maybe if it wasn't 2 kids. That just to me just seemed crazy, dog. Like you lost 2 kids. It's not like I'm grieving like I lost my mom and my dad and they was already of age. Then cool, yeah, I may not sit here be in the house crying. I may just need to get out with my friends and turn up. But bro, you lost 2 kids that froze to death. And some people almost feel like they could damn near you should damn near get charged for murder or fucking whatever one of them things for child neglect. Yeah, child neglect. So it's just like you in the house turning up. Like how you lost 2, not 1 kid, you lost 2, dog.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like how your body get to sit here and say, "Oh, you cut this Sexy Red on and let me start shaking my butt." Like what? And I seen so many people like y'all can't tell people how to grieve. I'm like, bro, is this real?
You can't tell people how to grieve, but at the end of the day, where was they at before the situation happened? That's the whole conversation right there. You come for me now at this time, but you wasn't there for me when I really need y'all.
Who you talking about? The people in the comment section?
No, the people whoever she was
in the party with?
Whoever she partying with. Because like that's how can you even cope yourself to do
how
that?
Can y'all even
because like I said, if you was home,
that you just lost 2 kids,
if you was homeless like you said you was homeless for all this time, whatever the case may be, and then it's like, all right, well now I'm able to go out and have fun. You still homeless, right?
Nigga, that's exactly. The crazy thing was that I was kind of just like where it was like, nigga, one of the things that make me happy sometimes being single, reading the comments of people sitting here saying you can't tell people how to grieve. That to me was almost more shocking to me than actually watching her twerk. Because I mean, like she looked like she was off and she didn't have it all upstairs in the first place. So it was like, cool, whatever the case may be. I'm talking about the people in the actual comment section sitting here trying to defend her still like
no,
she just lost two kids.
I don't think it's defending. I mean,
no, it's not defending because, like you said, you don't know. I could be tore up inside, and I'm just there just because y'all dragged me out the house. I really don't want to be there, but I'm just, pretending.
Listen to what I'm saying. Well, maybe I'm just one of the people you can't sit here and hide it. I'll go somewhere I don't want to be. It's gonna be written all over my face.
Right. It can be written all over your face, but still at the end of the day, you might just, all right, I'm just here. I'm like, all right, cool. Because really, we don't know if she was really having fun. Like, yeah, you did it for the camera, but really, are you really having fun? So that's why I said you don't know how people really
look bad.
Yeah, it looks bad. No, it looks bad. Like
she's
I said,
having the time of her life.
Yeah, no, it looks bad. Like I said, as a parent, that shit definitely looks bad. But that's what I'm saying. When people say that you can't tell people how to grieve, you're absolutely right. You can't tell people how to grieve or how people should feel when it comes to death. But for you to sit here and say that you was homeless, you was sleeping in your car, whatever the case may be, for months on or whatever, and then now you turn around, life is good.
Yeah,
that's kind of crazy.
That was crazy though. I ain't gonna hold you. Like that to me,
that's the crazy part to me. Is just like if you were struggling, like I said, just like we go back to the light bill shit. Like, all right, now that's another thing. So if you ask me to pay for the light bill and all that, and then I find you go on a trip, I should feel some type of way.
Oh, you know, for sure.
So that's what that's how that's looking in that situation right now. It's just like, all right, you asked me for help, and then now you turn around, you having to fuck up, and you supposed to be homeless.
I mean, I'm not. That's what I'm saying. That part, I'm not even sitting here more concerned because you can have it up and still be homeless.
Yeah, no, and you're right.
I'm not saying just because you're homeless, you got to walk around with your head down and be depressed and let people know that you're homeless. Because I'm sure it's people who go through stuff every day, and you may be sitting right next to them and don't know what they got going on. Or it could be somebody at work every day and their lights could be completely off, and they just still. I'm just stuck in it. I don't want people to be in my business, so I'm not wearing that. But I'm talking about losing the kids. Screw the homeless part. Because like I said, I'm not. Because I know girls who sit here and be like in one of them little shelters, and because they got strict rules in them Jones, but they still got OnlyFans pages, so they may find time to go get a room or do something that I can still make content because I'm trying to get out of this shelter. So I'm not knocking. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't sit here and judge that part. My part is you literally just lost 2 kids in one day. Your brain shouldn't be thinking about listening to no Sexy Red or Glorilla shaking your ass for a long time, dog.
But then she could have been like self-medicating. She could have been drunk. She could have been high. I don't know.
No, man, that's crazy, dog. But while we talking about parents, and I do want to play this clip real quick. This lady, I want to say she did. I don't know how you do what is it, IVF or whatever. Well, all them crazy ways that people get pregnant nowadays. This lady was trying to have a kid and end up carrying a baby that wasn't hers.
White woman using a white sperm donor gave birth in late 2023 to a baby boy with a much darker complexion.
My son's skin tone didn't match mine, but he was still my son.
What should have been a joyful first few months bonding with her son, who she loved and wanted to raise, was punctuated by constant fear and uncertainty.
I didn't know whether it was a sperm mix-up or whether he was someone else's.
Murray took a DNA test that confirmed her baby wasn't hers biologically. The clinic she'd used, Coastal Fertility Specialists, eventually determined that they'd mistakenly implanted another couple's embryo in Murray.
Damn. Man, she had a black widow baby or whatever.
So
how much you sue?
I don't know.
Definitely suing.
Oh no, for sure you sue him, but because that's crazy.
But you're going to take. See, that's what I'm saying too.
No, that's different, dog. Nigga, that's you. I listen to it. I can't even get pregnant. Never had nobody pregnant, but I cannot imagine carrying somebody else's kid for 9 months and thinking it was mine. This is what I'm telling you. I would have took 30 bands for that plane crash. This right here, now I'm gonna need some M's because you talking about I was literally real live pregnant and had to push this kid out, and you telling me it wasn't mine, and you talking about I'm a white woman and I had to push out a whole nigga baby. You crazy as hell, dog. Nah, dog. Ain't no way on God's green earth.
Yeah, here first. Bought your podcast.
Nah, you're crazy, dog. Ain't no way on God's green. No, I'm gonna need some M's. I'm gonna need some M's, and I don't want to know what did you do with my baby.
They probably still got. They got them all in the little.
Yeah, that's why I'm not gonna lie to you. I understand, and I don't want to sit here and make it seem like I'm unsensitive. But bro, if I can't have kids the regular way, I'm cool. Because that just to me sounds nuts, dog. That's because that's people playing around too much. Like it's too much science.
No, she can
involved with
have
trying to have
kids.
kids.
No,
she can
can't.
have kids. She carried the kid.
No, she probably was having problems conceiving
it. She can carry the kid. The baby was born in her. The eggs, like I said, I don't because now that's my own
scared because that mean they had to do something to it so you can so that the kid can
eggs.
They just take the sperm and the egg and plant it and then they put it inside the woman. That's it.
But then okay, so then what's the difference? So why couldn't she just do that on her own then?
What you mean?
Why she just couldn't get pregnant?
Well, it's always
it could be two. It could be him. His might have low sperm count. His sperm might not be as strong enough, so you probably had to enhance it.
Or maybe she's an older woman and she wanted to have kids. She froze her eggs. I mean, it's always different reasons of why people cannot do it the natural way.
Yeah, I'm cool on that one. That should just be seeming scary to me, especially because it's just so much stuff. Like some of these kids just coming out so kind of like.
But it's your kid. It's your child. Like if you had a wife or whatever, they would just take your sperm, her egg, and then it's still your child. It's just not done the old-fashioned way, but it's still your child.
Yeah, I need to just make mine the old-fashioned way, dog. I'm cool.
But what if you don't? You can't.
That's my point. Then you just don't need to have.
But if you don't know it, but what if you don't know it and she really wants kids? But all you gotta do is just nut in the cup and then they can fix it up so it can.
Yeah, so listen what you just basically said. So you had to go do some freaky little science magic to make my sperm because my natural sperm didn't work. Now you tell me
because you did it right, and because you was dirty. It's still your natural sperm, but you beat your dick too much and it's not strong enough. Your sperm count is not strong enough.
So now you had to do something extra to it.
Right. So we just had to add a rhino, whatever to make us move.
All they do is just take literally.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We just taking it little.
They take it and put it to the egg itself.
Your man can't march.
Yeah, my man's came off, so we just ain't having no kids, dog. I don't know what to tell you.
But she want kids.
Oh well, go ahead, get it with another nigga. People leave. Guess what?
It's still you.
Would be upset if she had a baby with somebody else.
And it's still you. It's still your kid. You just had a little extra boost.
Just hearing that right there, that sound crazy, dog.
You gonna get your baby and you have your money.
But shit, remember we had a story before when they gave the wrong baby to the people. I thought
it's a different. Give me the wrong baby, but you talking about I carried the wrong baby is crazy. For 9 months, you was pregnant with somebody else's whole kid. But I ain't gonna lie to you, though.
It's not like you can go in there and see, like, oh, is this my baby? You don't know until the baby come out.
I get it, but that's my point of why I'm going to sue for some different type of milk. Like, nigga, I'm going to sue and go get me a LeBron James contract back. Because you literally carried this kid for 9 months, dog. Like you talking about mental stress on where you need therapy and bro. Because now I don't necessarily. Now you might not even want to get pregnant no more.
I mean that is true. That's true too.
Like who gonna want to go do that again?
But I mean, it's not like it was. It's not a bad experience. It's still a beautiful experience now. It just
a beautiful experience.
It just wasn't your baby.
But so guess what you just did? So people get paid for that. People get paid to carry somebody else's kid. So now you basically sit here saying, I just carried somebody else's kid for free. I had to go drink all. I had to take care of my body a certain way. I'm thinking I'm giving birth to my own kid. No, that's I don't even listen to him telling you. I just know that I was sued for a lot. I don't even know what's the amount that you could put on that.
Okay, so my question is only because it's a black baby. If it was a white baby, would you still?
I don't care what baby. It's not mine.
But you wouldn't know. You would have never even thought about it.
Of course you wouldn't have thought about it. You wouldn't have thought about it if it was a white baby. But what make it worse is like, yeah, you're absolutely right. I carried a whole different race. And now I'm sure, even if let's say we keep it in the scenario that y'all
hold it. But now okay, now let's put it in that scenario where we said you couldn't have babies, right? Or you whatever the case may be. But what if I really didn't know your whole racial background? And it did that might be why the kid is black.
No, I mean, yeah, that's cool. But now I'm sure now you're gonna start a whole argument between me and my spouse because he's gonna be like, dog, why we got this black baby and both of us white as hell?
You can't be mad at me. Like we went into the place together. What
if I had, I didn't know I had black in my family.
Yeah, that's gonna start a whole different type of conversation. Yeah, like I said, I don't know what's the money amount because I'm not a woman. I never carried a kid, and I couldn't. I don't know. Like I honestly don't know. I feel for that woman though. Like that's kind of tough, dog. Like you thinking about carrying somebody else's kid for 9 months. Like yeah, I get it, and people get paid for that, and people get paid a lot of money for that.
Yeah, and this shit ain't cheap.
Yeah. Damn, though. Yeah, I feel for her though. I ain't gonna hold you. Like that's a rough one. That is a tough pill to swallow. And I did talk about it earlier and bypassing. ASAP Rocky did end up getting found not guilty. I don't know how he did or how that worked out, but man, shout outs to his lawyer, dog.
Rihanna and Rocky said to me in the courtroom yesterday, they grabbed me and they said, listen, Our next baby is ASAP Joe.
Hey!
I said, I'm going to hold you to that. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I said, shout out to his lawyer. I don't know how he. I mean, I know how he beat the charge, because of course the dude rarely got on stage. I mean, on the stand, and he fucking went to bed. He didn't.
Who you think did a better job, his or Young Thug?
Young Thug. I felt like Young Thug shit was kind of like nigga young.
But see, I think for like Young Thug, it was just fucked up that they really ain't had no evidence on Young Thug shit. But this shit, you had actual video.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying. That they had it. I mean,
yeah, because there was a shit show.
No. The Young Thug stuff is, of course, a lot more he say, she say, and I don't think they probably had the right people corroborating. I do think, like, realistically, like, let's just sit here and say if YNM, I'm about to call this nigga YFF. If Lucci went and sit here and said I wanted for lesser time, he wanted to take the stand on Young Thug or something. I felt like if the right people wanted to take the stand on Young Thug, they could have threw Young Thug in jail for the rest of his life. Because a lot of them, and that may be just me just being on too many rabbit holes on YouTube, them stories and the way a lot of that stuff was going, like a lot of that stuff the Young Thug should have been getting charged for, he probably really should have been in jail for. And that's probably realistically why him and Lucci both just got out, because it was kind of like, you can't keep one and let the other one out. You kind of got to let both of them out. But that ASAP Rocky was situations like, bro, he had the gun in his hand. And now y'all telling me this man was shooting a fake gun?
That's why I think I'm proud to give more credit to ASAP Rocky lawyer, because this nigga's on camera.
Yeah,
and you ain't getting no time. You ain't even served no time.
Yeah, that's good. I don't get it.
Shout outs to his lawyer.
Yeah, shout outs to his lawyer.
And Rihanna.
Was a businesswoman in our community. She was well known and well respected by many. These criminals targeted this victim in a murder for hire scheme that was stemming from a contentious divorce from one of the suspects, Sergio Reveles.
We will proceed on this matter as is currently alleged, with the potential of special circumstances as a result of some of the facts that you've heard here, and obviously the tragedy and travesty of having an individual that was essentially assassinated at one of her favorite eateries in San Bernardino. Is a very, very sad case.
Jessica was a businesswoman in our community.
And again, that kind of going back into our conversation with the Steve Smith thing, and that's why I said you don't necessarily know how people are wrapped, because like this was crazy. This man literally had a murder for hire on his wife and paid. And I'm not gonna lie to you, that hitman was super slow. She was slow. She had them little stupid ass. Again, rest in peace to this woman, but she had them little dumb heels on that she could barely even move, and she just running slow. And it seemed like the dude who he like was coming to do the job, he ain't really even like the way he was moving, like he really just didn't want to do it. Like it took too long. Like she got a chance to run around her car like 2 different times before he even pulled the trigger. But that's just my point of, bro. There's some crazy people out in this world.
He actually pulled the trigger?
Yeah, he killed her. She did.
Oh, maybe on the video cut off.
It froze up when she ran away from the car.
Oh,
yeah, but he killed her.
Okay.
People need to let it go. Like it's not that serious.
But listen to what I'm saying. But that's why I told y'all with the Steve Smith stuff earlier. Everybody know. That's why I see his say Marcus say the dude smart, soft, or whatever the case may be. Yeah, cool. You can take it that way, or it's some way that some people just be like, bro, it's some crazy people out here. And everybody don't handle divorce and separation the same way. Like some people just can't handle it the same.
You're absolutely right. To death do us part. I'm cool with that. I understand that. I respect that. But like I said, for you to sit here and take on social media to do what you did, I don't. For what?
Yeah, that was nuts. Joe Biden. I feel like, hold on, what am I missing with this? Oh, I should have played that. Was that clip? Just to hold.
Christina Murray's long journey to motherhood took a path she never thought possible.
I spent my entire life wanting to be a mom. I loved, nurtured, and grew my child. And I would have done literally anything in my power to keep him.
After years of fertility and IVF treatments, she gave birth to a healthy baby boy in December of 2023.
What was your immediate reaction after you gave birth? I was happy. I was a mom. He was beautiful and perfect, but it was also very clear that something was wrong.
She vividly remembers the shock when she saw her baby for the first time. Whereas Christina is a Caucasian woman who chose a sperm donor with a similar appearance, The baby she delivered was African American.
An at-home DNA test result that January confirmed what Christina suspected. The baby was not hers. On February 5th, Christina's lawyers reached out to the fertility clinic, Coastal Fertility Specialist, informing them of the mix-up.
And just let them know, what the results were and asked for answers.
In March, Coastal Fertility informs the other couple their embryo was transferred to Christina, that family taking legal action to obtain custody. In a family court hearing that May, Christina decides to give up the baby voluntarily.
It's like the happiest day of their life is like the worst day of mine. So like everyone's happy and joyous, and then there's me losing my entire life all at once.
Now Christina is suing Coastal Fertility Specialists in a complaint filed in a Georgia court.
Errors like this should never occur in a fertility clinic. This is the cardinal sin.
The actions of the fertility clinic have come very close to destroying me, have left irreparable damage to my soul, and ultimately left me questioning whether I should be a mom or not.
In a statement, Coastal Fertility Specialist says in part it deeply regrets the distress caused by an unprecedented error, adding this was an isolated event with no further patients affected. Christina.
She gonna get a bag, though. That's the same lady? Yeah, that was the same lady. She gonna get a bag. She gonna get a crazy bag. Hold on. Oh, no, that was Joe Biden. What else? Oh, yeah, just real quick, because it is a fight this weekend coming up. Javante Davis versus what's the dude name from DC? I know his nickname is Roach. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not even that familiar with who Slim is. I know he is from here, but I'm not like no super crazy like boxing fan. So if you ain't really him, I really don't know who you are. And that's not even no shade to him. But it's just like I think people, and I know I get upset sometimes when people throw around the word casual, and I'm cool with the casual boxing thing because I feel like my job ain't to sit here and know who everybody is. Your job is to be popular enough so I know who you are. And then I ain't sitting here saying who's gonna win the fight. I mean, of course, 90% people gonna root for Tank because it's Tank, and to kind of even talk about boxing because Shakur Stevenson had a fight over the weekend where I believe somebody canceled on him and he ended up had to fight an electrician, and then went 9 rounds, and the people kind of was like, and y'all be, and a lot of people try to put Shakur in the same conversation with Tank, and it was kind of like, bro, you went 9 rounds with somebody who literally was at work on Tuesday. Like, and that's literally like the joke that's floating around on the internet right now. Like, this man literally was at work on Tuesday and had a 9-round boxing match with you on Saturday. Like, which is crazy. Like, and it's like, come on, I get it. Like, name-wise, yeah, I get the people try to put him in a conversation with Tank, but I don't think realistically, skill-wise, I don't think he did. But like I said, again, Tank fight this Saturday. I believe this Saturday is March 1st, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, this Saturday, March 1st, Tank will be fighting. I think his name is Lamont Roach, I believe. Yeah. But I do want to play this clip real quick of Tank. He was doing an interview with Jay Hill, and he was talking about Floyd Mayweather.
Little situation that he put me in to, make me lose. But he thought I was gonna lose. But
You talking about like a boxing match or?
yeah, boxing match.
Who was you on mine? If you don't want to, it's fine.
Joseph Pedraza, my first world title. I was 16-0. I was 16-0. 16-0. And I was 21 at the time. And I haven't fought in like 7 or 8 months. And around that time, I wasn't making that much money. I probably was making like $10,000 a fight. So 6 months is crazy to not fight, So when they came back and it was like, all right, you gotta fight. He was like, you gotta fight this fighter, which is Joseph Pedraza. If you don't fight him, you're not fighting. You're sitting on a shelf. So I had to fight him. In the midst of all that happened, I got evicted. I had to sell my jewelry.
Because like betrayal almost.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you think Floyd did that intentionally?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Why? After so much time, after like, I guess again, after what we think he helped you come into the game, he gave you the spotlight. Like, why would he try to diminish your career?
Cause at that time I don't want to go too deep into it because I don't want to bring up but it was somehow that they were saying that I was messing with his daughter off of the fact that she kept Snapchatting me.
Okay.
She kept hitting me on the Snapchat. So they sent it to Floyd, and Floyd bugged out.
Okay.
So that's what made it like.
And you think that was the downfall of your career? I mean, y'all
No, it was a
relationship, not
downfall.
career.
Yeah,
relationship.
It wasn't a downfall of my career. I mean, my our relationship, because it was more things that he was doing. Like
he scheduled a fight, I think, during like your fight or something. I don't think they did it,
yeah,
but
stuff like that.
promoting.
Yeah, stuff like that. Like, you know.
Yeah.
But just little stuff that people wouldn't like catch unless like you see how like you caught a lot of people wouldn't catch would have caught that. Like he scheduled a fight when I'm fighting, and I was signed to him.
Do you think that's a relationship that y'all could like mend? Have y'all mended or
no? I just like it's more so like I respect him. And I won't say I respect. I appreciate him. I appreciate him for what he done because he did like he did help me out. He definitely helped me out, but it was more so like.
Anyway, just real quick, just to kind of finish in the boxing conversation. I ain't gonna lie to you because Tank do talk kind of like slow and it should be irritating me. I hate y'all know just me personally. I hate people who talk slow. And it's just I'm trying to think like what was the turn. I know what the turning point was. Me personally, I believe the turning point for Tank was when he started dating Ari. But I just kind of want I'm thinking like, damn, what is the just for boxers like? I'm almost like, how do people even determine like who really is that guy and who's not? Like, what be drawing people in? And I kind of wonder is like, is it more just the aura and the swagger Tank? Because his whole demeanor is kind of like, all right, it's hood. He from Baltimore, so okay, the DMV kind of get as a whole get behind him and really push him to the forefront. Because it's not like he like at one point in time, like when it was Adrian Broner was like I understand like why people was ready to buy into the AB thing because AB had the personality for it before he started drinking and all that. He really had the swag. He was on World Star. He was talking crazy and all that. Where Javante is really kind of more is like, I'll get in the ring and I do my thing. I got the look, but his talk game ain't crazy. Like he's still kind of like I said, he talked like super slow. So it's kind of like it ain't like he talking niggas like how Mayweather used to talk crazy or Mike Tyson used to talk crazy. Like it ain't one of them things. So it's kind of just like I don't even know how boxers really kind of even supposed to promote themselves for real. Even listening to him say he only used to get 10,000 a fight. You got to think about boxers don't fight that often. Like maybe if you lucky or you a super hungry boxer, like you may take 2 fights a year. Like you probably super thirsty or you really ain't fighting no real crazy people. You still taking maybe 3 fights a year. But you still someone like, damn, bro, that's only like 30 bands and they still like, and how much work they got to put in to get to that. Like you could almost damn near get knocked out. It's not a guarantee you're going to win this fight. Like I'm just even listening to that. I was like, damn, that ain't a lot of money to sit here in the way they got to train and how you got to really lock in to be a good fighter. Not to sit here and say, okay, I'm gonna get 10 bands, I'm gonna just go ahead and get knocked out. Like, no, 10, and I'm still trying to become an elite fighter. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. Shout outs to him, because that's a long way. And I kind of understand why some of them have smoke for Jake Paul, because I'm sure, like, bro, damn, think about you seeing him saying, I had to take fights at 10,000 at one time, and this nigga kind of get to come smack in. He making M's and he ain't no real fighter. I do understand with a little bit of the hate and the animosity will come towards Jake Paul. And then real quick, while we just still on sports so we can get out of here and get into something else, I do want to play this clip of Dr. Umar in a second. Shout out to Shea Alexander. He did get rid of his agent and he will be negotiating his own contracts moving in. I believe this summer he's looking at a Supermax contract where he will get probably $330 million. I ain't mad at him. Like, if I can cut off the middleman, why not? And you add to the point where it ain't no negotiation real quick. I mean, you are OKC. The only reason why OKC got national games on TV right now is because they got Shea. If they didn't have him, OKC would not be on TV right now on a national TV game. Like, he is one of those people where it's in the conversations. Are you talking about face of the league? You talking about one of the elite athletes? Like, I get it. So I ain't mad at him. Like, all right, cool. If I can just go in here, like, all I got to realistically do is just sign the contract. Like, ain't nothing to negotiate. What do I need an agent for? I'm not, I honestly ain't mad at him for doing that, bro. That's like, You could, or you can go to Kyrie route to Lamar Jackson or Jalen Daniels. Like, you can get one of your parents to do it. So I ain't mad at him for that. Shout out to him for even being able to just be smart enough and kind of like, shit, let me keep that money to myself. What's the purpose of giving somebody some extra bread for something that I realistically don't honestly even need them to do? But I did say I wanted to play this clip of Dr. Umar. So Dr. Umar had some smoke for he has some smoke for Obama.
One of the reasons Barack Obama was made president is so he could normalize the LGBTQ agenda in the Black community. Think about it. If George Bush tried to push homosexuality in the Black community, we would have rejected him.
Of course.
If Donald Trump tried to push homosexuality in the Black community, we would have rejected him.
Of course.
You could only normalize that through a black face.
Black man.
Obama was made president to make it normal. When Barack Obama became president, homosexuality was not a mainstream issue, nor was it accepted as a mainstream alternative to the traditional family.
I gotta look at
By the time he left office in 2008, they were completely running everything.
Was
and
that
if
the
you
year?
even disagreed with, I'm gonna give you an example.
It is.
I do
You
a
might
lot
be
of
right.
graduation speeches, right? At the June.
Okay.
Elementary school, middle school, high school. I normally do about 20 graduation speeches a season.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
When Barack Obama was president, I might have did 5. It dropped significantly. Schools who I normally did their commencement, they was calling me up, Dr. Umar, we can't have you speak this year. Why? The LGBTQ say you don't agree with them. You can't speak. I said, but this is a graduation speech. This ain't politics. This is motivation. Get ready for the rest of your life. What does LGBT got to do with my 10-minute speech motivating these 12th graders to make sure you do well in college? Well, we have LGBT teachers and they're saying you're insensitive and you're homophobic. So I saw how not agreeing with the lifestyle could limit your opportunities in life. You had people getting fired from jobs, not for pushing hate, because I don't agree with hate. I don't agree with the lifestyle. But I don't want harm for any human, no matter what their situation is.
That's the way to do
it. But the way that they did it was the LGBTQ said, to disagree with me is to hate me. They created a narrative that if you disagree, you support violence against me. You don't want us to work. You want us to be shot, killed, made. We never said that.
That's ridiculous.
We just said we don't agree with the lifestyle. But they turned it into a whole campaign against anybody who disagreed with it. And that's another reason why a lot of people didn't vote for Kamala Harris, Black men, because they got tired of the effeminization. And then they took it to Africa. Obama started it. He went to Africa. He went to Liberia. He went to Rwanda, a couple other places. He said, if you don't legalize gay marriage, we cutting off your aid. Now, mind you, this is the oldest civilization on earth. How are you going to go to the oldest people in the world and say, if you don't legalize same-sex marriage, we're going to cut your aid off? So that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, because you don't go to Africa to help. You go to force this.
He did that for her?
Yes, he did. And then Kamala Harris did it. She did it. They all did it. So a lot of us, especially the Pan-Africanists, be like, nah, we can't support that type of a lifestyle. So I think a lot of people got tired of all these rogue agendas of the Democratic Party. And I'm going to be honest with you, out of all of them, I think it was the transgenders participating in sports that really broke the back.
Yeah. Because don't nobody fuck with that.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody, like, I don't know nobody who support that except them.
I don't necessarily. I mean, if I'm kind of, I guess, looking at it on hindsight 2020, Obama did pass the law for like gay marriage and stuff. Like I don't necessarily know if he's right, but if I'm kind of looking at the timeline, he might be right. And he kind of like, I guess the way he painting that picture, kind of be like, damn, that's crazy. I wonder, did they really kind of use Obama? And that's like to kind of push some of those different agendas. And it's like, I don't care, but it's kind of like, damn, it make you think like, damn, did they really finesse him, or did they really kind of finesse us? Where it's like, all right, we're gonna kind of just make it like, oh yeah, we here for the Black people, and then at the same time, we kind of throwing another play in where you ain't really paying attention. So like, I mean, that's something to kind of like think about. I don't necessarily know like if it's true or not, but if it is, then damn, like shout outs to them. But that was kind of like a good ass finesse. I ain't even gonna hold you. I can't be mad at that one. What else is going on? Something.
The Memorial area of Houston, a plan to hurt students at Memorial High School using guns and pipe bombs leads to the arrest of 2 teenage girls. This is a story that you'll see only on 2. Thank you for joining us. I'm Andy Sirota. Lisa is off. Those teenage girls now in custody. Spring Branch ISD police say there is no longer a threat to the school or its students. KPRC2's Bill Barajas live at Memorial High School with more on this story. Bill.
Yeah, this was a joint investigation involving the FBI, the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office, and the Spring Branch ISD Police Department. I'm told the idea was to place pipe bombs throughout Memorial High School and use guns to shoot at students. The plan in its early stages, but multiple law enforcement agencies told me that the threat was credible enough that they acted quickly. Within 30 minutes of becoming aware of this plan, they arrested a 15 and 16-year-old teenage girl. Now, Spring Branch ISD Police Chief Larry Bainbridge says they become aware of the threat yesterday thanks to a source. Bainbridge says they arrested a 16-year-old girl. She has since been charged with third-degree felony terroristic threat charges. We're told that student was a 10th grader assigned to Memorial High School, but was attending a separate school in the district that is designed to help students that fall behind. The 15-year-old student that was arrested is in custody with the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office. We are awaiting more details on her, but have not been told that she has been charged yet, and she was not a Spring Branch ISD student. We have also reached out to Spring Branch ISD, to the district, to find out if they have notified parents and staff. We spoke to a few students and parents that were here as school let out. None of them were aware of this.
I got a question for you, Eric. What would you think would you do if you was a parent and you end up finding out like your kid was like ready to kind of like come and shoot up a whole school?
I don't even know how you react to something like that. Like, I would be kind of disappointed in myself because how did I miss that?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Like, would you be disappointed in yourself? And then my next question would you be scared of your kid a little bit, and they can kind of like
it would definitely make me be a little nervous. I would like counseling, like they wouldn't go to school. Like, it'd be a lot of.
So that's what I'm saying. So okay, then my next question would you allow your kid to come back and live in the house with you? Like, cause it's like, I mean, just realistically, because it's almost like, damn, this little, like, what if they would have got away with it? Your kid would have, damn it, you talking about this like is a goddamn like a serial killer. Like, can I live in the same house with a serial killer?
I don't want to say they're a serial killer. Like, I mean, a lot of like when they shoot up the schools, like it could be like bullying. It could be a whole bunch of different things where the parents aren't, you know what I'm saying? The parents aren't at risk.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of depends on what the situation was. They would definitely get some type of counseling.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought I just be thinking.
Because you can't put them out. Where you gonna put them? Where they gonna go? Unless they go to some type of like a mental hospital or something. But you can't just throw them on the street.
No, you can't. And I don't necessarily know where you even put them. Maybe I would try to have to send them to like a boarding school or something.
Try to shoot up a school.
No, no. I wouldn't put them out because I mean, of course, then they can still come back to the house and do something to you. But that's what I'm just saying. But you gotta I'm gonna have to put them somewhere. Like, you gotta go somewhere. Like to me, you kind of get off lucky if they go to jail. But if they don't go to jail, it's kind of like
they go some type of counseling, some type of, I don't want to say boys village, like something like that.
Yeah, you have to send them somewhere. I guess to kind of lighten the mood up a little bit, we can shout outs to the Wayans brothers. They won a what is it? NAACP award. I want to say for as a family. I want to say they put them in. They got inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Spending most of his nights going.
So I do want to play this clip of them and them accepting their impeachment. And I'm not. I mean, of course,
that's kind of crazy because that was what's name first award.
Damon
Wayans.
And real quick, I know
he got nominated 6
and
times.
people do give the Shade Room a lot of hell for all the bad stuff they post. Shout out to them though. They literally, that's the only way I seen it. I seen that they was posting all the winners from that. I believe Shannon Sharp won the Entertainer of the Year award, I believe, or something like that. He won.
Shout out to Braylon.
Who?
Braylon.
Who the hell is Braylon?
From Power. White boy.
Oh, where he win?
No, what's his name? Michael. Tyreek won. They finally won one.
Oh, for real?
Mm-hmm. Remember TMZ had a video of him. Somebody stopped him and asked him about something that's crazy how they never been nominated for no black what's his name?
Oh yeah, shout out to them then. Yeah, shout out to them if they won one.
Yeah, he won the best actor or something like that. He won.
I think it was best actor.
Yeah.
Tariq won or
Tyreek.
Oh, okay.
Tyreek won.
Oh yeah, shout out to him. That's tight.
Think it Brandon won. That's crazy.
On May 5th, 1965, my
stand.
brother Keenan Ivory and I watched young Richard Pryor make his television debut on the Ed Sullivan Show. Richard was animated and hilarious with very clean comedy routine. While I was seeing a funny comedian, Keenan was seeing his future. From that day on, Keenan was dead set on being just like Richard Pryor. I can still remember my mother yelling, "Keenan, that skinny boy's on TV again." Keenan was 6 months away from an engineering degree at Tuskegee when he learned that the Improvisation Comedy Club was less than 2 miles from the projects we grew up in. So in 1975, Keenan first walked on stage at the Improvisation Club to pursue his dreams of being a stand-up comic. My brother worked hard at it, spending most of his nights going club to club just to get some stage time to perfect an act. I can still feel the pride of watching him on stage. Of course, I was underage, but Keenan was so funny and loved by fellow comedians and club owners that they let me in to watch him. So in 1980, Keenan and his best friend, fellow comedian Robert Townsend, they drove across country in a rented U-Haul, determined to make it big in Hollywood.
And that didn't go well with my mama. I remember she sat him down and he was we had a broken dryer, and in the projects, when something's broken, you just make a different use for it. So now it was our kitchen table. And my mother, Keenan told Ma he's leaving college to go be a comedian. My mother said, "A comedian? Boy, I've known you your whole life. You ain't never said nothing funny. You a comedian. That's the funniest thing you ever said. Ha, ha, ha. Kee, kee, kee." She said, "At least have a backup plan." And my brother Keenan was like, "There's no backup plan in success. It's comedy or nothing." And needless to say, my family was over the moon. When Keenan first got his stand-up appearance on Johnny Carson, we all watched on a black and white TV in our kitchen. And I remember it was a tube television. The antenna was broken, so we had a hanger in there for the antenna. And a fork to change the channels. And we watched my brother do stand-up comedy on that television. From that day on, me as a child, I sat there and I was like, wow, you mean not only can you dream, but you can make your dreams come true.
Just real quick, I just paused it because we talked about it last week with me cutting my hair. And that's the only thing when you look at people like with bald heads, and this is just crazy that I'm just looking at this and it just made me think about that. Because both of them got a bald head, but you so used to never seeing Marlon with a bald head. So now when you see him, he just looked crazy as hell with a bald head. His brother sitting right beside him, but his whole time his brother's been famous, he didn't always had a bald head, so it just kind of just looked more normal with him. Like that's probably just to me is one of the scariest things about just like, all right, cool, I'm just gonna go bald, because it's like you got to get used to just never seeing yourself bald, and then you just like, all right, cool, I don't got no hair at all. Like that shit just look crazy to me. I'm just when I was listening to them say that and just looking at him, I'm just like, damn, that just look nuts.
And after we saw him on TV, we thought he was rich. And we just knew we were all going to move to Beverly Hills and, you know, and be famous with him. And so in 1982, I came to visit Keenan, and I was shocked to see that he lived in a tiny two-bedroom apartment with a roommate. He didn't even have furniture, just a waterbed that made me nauseous whenever I laid down on it. But Keenan didn't care because he was focused on what comes after the struggle. And eventually, Keenan and Robert put their heads together and they wrote the classic Hollywood Shuffle. And after that, they wrote Robert Townsend, Partners in Crimes. And when Keenan asked Robert if he could direct some of the sketches, Robert told him, no, you're too lazy to direct. You have to give up the women and the partying to do this. Keenan was hurt, but it was exactly what he needed to hear. So for 2 weeks, he locked himself in his bedroom with a pen and some writing pads, and he wrote, "I'ma Get You Sucker." He sold it and directed it. He cast me and my siblings in some roles that let us shine. And after seeing the movie, Fox approached him to do a show for their new network. They wanted it to be edgy. They even told him, you could do what you want to do, which is actually a lyric in In Living Color. Yeah. Then Keenan wrote and directed Low Down Dirty Shame. His next major success came writing Scary Movie 1 and 2 with Sean and Marlon. And those movies grossed over $1 billion at the box office.
I just want to say that my brother Keenan raised us all like Jedis. I remember being a little boy and he'd fly us out to California. And
I think, you know, the crazy thing is just listening to that and listening to all the movies that he wrote. And it's like, damn, people don't really give him that same conversation or that same respect like they do Spike Lee. Because I'm kind of just like, maybe because his movies is more comedy. I'm like, damn, why people don't really put him in a conversation with like Spike Lee and shit. I feel like even just to be honest, like In Living Color alone should kind of put him in a conversation that Spike Lee shouldn't even be in. But like when we talk about like black directors, or you talk about like black like, I mean, of course, people always talk about In Living Color. You talk about the Wayans brothers, but it's just like I feel like you just don't have that conversation when you talk about like Tyler Perry, or you talk about any of those like great black directors. We kind of really nobody never bring in Keenan Wayans, and maybe because there's too many of them, and you kind of maybe you're just not familiar and know which ones that he wrote, or you kind of think all of them do it as a group. So maybe that's why he don't get as much credit. But I'm just listening to them.
But I still think you should value just the whole family, then, right? I think the whole family.
I mean, that's why they got just acknowledged right there. But it's still like I'm just.
But that's why. But I think that's the thing. Is just like, why is it taking so long for you to even acknowledge them? Because they have done so much.
But I wonder is because do you feel like they peaked out in the 90s? So it's like when you really start to have because we always have.
Because I mean, even still, like to this day, they're the reason why we got a halftime show.
No, I get that, but what I'm saying is still, you got to just think about this though. Because the conversation when you say like best TV shows or this, that, and the third, where it's like I feel like a lot of their shows peaked out before social media when people really had those debates, and a lot of them shows don't get picked up on like if In Living Color was running on Netflix right now, I think more people would probably talk about A Living Color, because it's just like when you ran like people how we talk about you see the different world now, or you even look at how much people give what's it, Damon Wayans credit now, because My Wife and Kids is always on, like you can watch it on Netflix. Like we literally just talked about that 2 weeks ago when we was talking about Tisha Campbell. So it's just like, but that's my point. But you get to see it, you get to watch it, so it refresh your mind. Where it's like, I mean, if you ain't really in the house watching cable, when the last time you seen the Wayans brothers? Like people still may mention it, but they don't mention it as often because it's not on TV as much as Martin, or it's not on TV as much as the Fresh Prince. So it's kind of like for some of those things, it's a lot harder. And I do think people don't take comedy as serious. So that's why you don't put them in the conversation. Because even when he just said, I'm saying, damn, he did Low Down Dirty Shame. He did what was the other joint he just said before Low Down Dirty Shame? What was the joint?
I'm gonna get you, sucker.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get you, sucker. So it's like all of them joints, and I believe I think he wrote what's the other joint that More Money. I'm 100% positive he wrote that too. What was that joint called? Money Train?
No, wasn't it More Money? That wasn't.
Oh yeah, More Money. Yeah, that's it. More Money. So he wrote all of them joints, but it's like I feel like I could kind of put them three up against Spike Lee's whatever, but Spike Lee Jones was more serious, where these was more like they comedy. So I think I wonder, do people not give him enough credit because a lot of his biggest movies and TV shows were more comic Jones than they was.
But then I think that might be just the question. It's just like because it's more comedy, like how you don't look at like how people don't look at Eddie Murphy as, you know what I'm saying, like writing and all, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm pretty sure
people don't give Eddie Murphy a lot of credit, especially for even what he did with Nutty Professor. Just the Nutty Professor alone, I don't think people give Eddie Murphy enough. So you might be right. That may be what it is, because these shows are more comic shows and these movies are more comedy based. That's why people don't put him in that conversation. Because I do think like if you probably go like if we sit here and said do a fucking March Madness style tournament movies, Spike Lee versus Damon Wayans, I don't necessarily know Spike Lee beat Damon Wayans. But like I said, I don't necessarily know. People don't give him that same credit because a lot of his stuff is just more comic and it's not like necessarily like serious Jones with like Spike Lee got some of those, like of course, like Do the Right Thing or what's the other John when they did the college? What was it? What the fuck was it? School Days. But like them type of Jones like super serious where it's like it's telling more of a black story and it means a lot more. So people put Spike Lee in a different conversation and like Crooklyn and stuff like that. His Jones got real meaning to him. So maybe that's why people don't put him in the same conversation.
And I think more so I think it's also the value of like, it's the family too. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just him. You know what I'm saying? Like he got a tree, he got a family tree. So it's like, you got this person doing something, you got this person doing, like, it's just not him. You got the whole family doing stuff. So that can also kind of like you got like if it was like a Belichick, like how we say, or anybody who was coached under Belichick, how they got successful other teams. You know what I'm saying? Like so that
Some
might
people
be
maybe why they don't give him as much credit as he deserves. Yeah. But shout out to the Wayans and shout out to Damon Wayans because that's still a lot though. That's tight. That's a lot. Shout out to
all the winners yesterday too.
Shout out to everybody who won. And shout out to the Roots. The Roots picnic, it comes up every year. I always sit here like you see them. I ain't gonna sit here and say I always want to go. Like you want to experience certain things. It's not one of them Jones where it's like maybe if somebody else is like, all right, I'm gonna pay for it and I'm gonna drive, then I'll probably go. But it's not like one of them Jones like I want to just go drive up Philly on my own. But the Roots picnic, they are having D'Angelo will be performing with the Roots, Meek Mills, Glorilla, Miguel, Tim's, Lotto, Jeezy, Pusha T and 2 Chainz, Jagged Edge, Music Soul Child, Backyard Band, who else? CeeLo Green. Oh, CeeLo is performing with Backyard.
Yeah.
That's tight. And Backyard been performing that the last couple of years, I want to say.
I think this is second.
It may be like the second or third. I want to say it might be like their third year because I want to say
I think it's the second because last year was them and Ray Essence performed out there. Because ain't that the Baller Alert stage or something like that?
That's what it's called?
Yeah, I think that is.
Oh, I don't know. But and shout out to Robin because Robin from Baller Alert is from the DMV area. I do know that. You might be right. Like I said, shout out to the Roots, shout out to the Backyard. For performing there, and this was something that had people up in an uproar too when we talked about the government. I probably should have brought this up earlier. They are sitting here trying to they're trying to change the SNAP. And of course, for people who don't know what SNAP is, basically like your EBT card, where you're not going to be able to buy junk food off of your EBT card. And to be honest with you, I don't necessarily know if I'm mad at that because it's kind of just like when we're talking about getting your health in order early, it's kind of like you trying to make people make better decisions if they can't make it on their own. So it's kind of like, all right, if you want to feed your family and your kids bad stuff, do it on your own dollar. You ain't gonna do it on the government dollar because they kind of do trickle down to each other. Because if you eat messed up, kind of even going back into the conversation with the Irv Gotti and the diabetes thing, it's like, all right, if you're gonna eat messed up. And then you still like, because most people, they probably figure like, all right, well, if you need assistance for food, 9 times out of 10, that means you're gonna probably need assistance for your health insurance too. So we can kind of try to nip two things in the bud at one time. If we make you have to sit here and we know that you can't afford the snacks on your own, well, that means you're only gonna be able to get healthier food. So now it'll help eliminate
give up more money.
You said what happened?
You would have to give up more money for healthier food, right?
No.
Why not?
What you mean? If to get a bag, guess what's cheaper? To get a bag of kale compared to a bag of Doritos? A bag of Doritos now damn near like $8. We talking about like a family size bag of Doritos? This shit damn near like $8. So I can get a bag of kale for $4.
But that's just so they just supposed to eat salad. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't.
But they trying to make you eat healthier options because guess what? Most people. Let's keep it a buck. And most people, if you sit here saying, all right, let's just say if it's a woman and she got 5 kids, right, and she get $1,500 worth of food stamps a month. I'm 100% positive because and this ain't no shade to the women who got a bunch of kids and you getting food stamps, but I'm sure 90% of the stuff in her fucking cart is more unhealthier stuff than it is healthier stuff.
Because the healthier stuff is more expensive.
That ain't really true though. You just it just don't fill you up as much. Like if I sit here and say,
so what do your kids?
A bag of chips or a bag of bananas? Because bananas is cheaper than chips.
So my question, okay, so what are the kids supposed to eat when they go to school? They're not getting kale.
What you mean?
You saying that they're supposed to eat healthier? So when I pack their lunch, what are they supposed to eat?
Apples and bananas.
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
A sandwich.
But then, like the free food that they used to give out, like the government food and all that shit is not healthy.
They're trying to stop that too.
Yeah.
That's what I'm telling you. If you sit here and think, just listen to what I'm saying. For somebody who pay attention to both, if you sit here and say, I go get a bag of oranges, like it's cheaper than you sit here and go get a box of Pop Tarts.
Yeah, but how many times you got to get a bag of oranges? Them chips gonna last you a little longer than the bag of oranges.
Yeah, that's the difference.
Right, but then the money only come frequent. They don't come that frequent. So if you telling me if I'm getting a bag of the family box of or whatever value box of Lay's chips, right? Mm-hmm. So let's say like maybe 20 in the box, right? That can last me maybe for 2 to 3 weeks. Them oranges only gonna last me for a week, if that.
I don't know. I mean, I get it. I understand what you're saying, but you're gonna have to figure it out. It's gonna be they trying to make you think of different ways to be able to figure out better life choices. I'm not mad at what they're doing, but I understand what you're saying too as well, because of course it costs way more to eat healthier because you're going to eat because it doesn't fill you up as much. So the food run through faster, because if you're saying if I'm gonna eat a banana and an orange, it ain't gonna keep me as full if I go eat some chips or a donut or something. But realistically, I mean, which one is a healthier option? And in the long term, the apples and bananas will help you stay more healthier than you sitting here going to eat a bunch of donuts and pot tops and all of these things that's realistically not healthy for you. So, I mean, I see both sides. I understand what you're saying. It's like, yeah, I can get more out of my dollar because the chips, I can get more chips than I can get apples and oranges and bananas. But realistically, you shouldn't be wanting to just feed your kid chips and all that other stuff. And something else that they're trying to do.
But then I think you more so than you should ban the food then.
They working on that. He was working on trying to ban all the foods with the red dye and all that.
That's something you should be trying to do if you trying to stop those foods from coming in here. Then then cool. But you sitting there saying, "Well, I'm taking out of the EBT cards," and you can't.
But they did that with the hot seafood. You can't buy hot food no more. Because remember, at one point in time, I got my food stamps. Niggas was going, especially here in the DMV area. I'm gonna go get me some crabs. They cut that out. You can't do that no more.
Shit, I don't know why. I be saying, well, what you mean hot food? Like you can't get? Because I be saying now a lot of restaurants accept it.
Yeah, some of them do, but everybody don't. I know at one point in time you couldn't, like, people was going to Cameron's to be able to get like you can still go get you maybe still get seafood, but it had to be cold. You couldn't sit here and just go to Cameron's and go get you a bunch of shrimp with your EBT card. They stopped it. At one point in time you could, but then they stopped it because people would sit here just like, nigga, this how this gonna last you for? You spending all your EBTs at Cameron's? And you gotta think about it's on the car, so they pay attention to how you spending your money. So they see, you keep running into y'all. Again, this is maybe, I'm not saying this is an everywhere thing, but this was a DMV thing. People was running to Cameron's and they was going to get their seafood from Cameron's, and then they end up taking where you couldn't buy hot food no more.
But I think that even before, I want to say before, you only could buy certain things with like the coupons and all that. Mm-hmm. So then maybe that's what you need to go to if you want to say, I want people who have a healthier route. Only certain stuff you can, like, orange, you know what I'm saying? Like, now if you go back to that, right, where you putting limit on what you can get, I just don't see how you can just say, you can't buy chips or drinks. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I remember before, like, you had the actual coupon where only can get one milk, or only can get, you know what I'm saying, like that.
Yeah, I don't necessarily know how it's gonna go, but I mean that is what's gonna happen. Rest in peace to Hooters. Hooters, it seems like it's on its final, it's on its last straw. They have already closed up over 300 locations, and I believe that they about to file bankruptcy, and that's probably gonna be Rhapsody in the basement for Hooters. Y'all know that.
Shit, that's why.
Devin Booker?
No, Kevin Love. Kevin Love posted a picture, I guess, of him at Hooters, and then he posted the picture of Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. I did not know. I didn't know that's what it was. Hooters was going.
Oh yeah. Hooters is filing bankruptcy, so there's about to be Rhapsody in the basement for Hooters. What else was going on in the world before we get out of here? They had a question: if Issa Rae could bring back one show, which one would you choose? Insecure or Rap-ish?
Insecure.
Which one, Marcus?
It don't matter to me. I ain't pay attention to either one of them like that.
I'll probably take Rap-ish. Like, Insecure was fire when Insecure was fire, but that last season of Insecure compared to the last season of Rap-ish, I'll take Rap-ish.
Damn, I don't think I ever watched the episode of Insecure. So.
What else? It was Boosie, Young Thug, court documents. What else was going on? Oh yeah, shout outs to cause we didn't talk about it in the sports. Shout outs to Greg Popovich. He is not coming back this season, and 9 times out of 10, he probably will. He probably will call it quits. I'm sure he's, because it just I don't necessarily know how he can really. I don't know if he can do another season on that bench. Like he getting up there in age, and I ain't gonna lie to him. Shout outs to Greg Popovich for even thugging it out as long as he did, especially because he still kept coaching after he lost his wife, and I'm sure that probably was a help in him. I mean, with his grieving process, so he didn't have to sit in the house by himself and really kind of think about it and kind of just allow his mind to kind of eat up on his own. So I kind of understood why he probably kept on. Why he kept preaching. I mean, I said preaching. Why he kept coaching, but I do understand at the same time where it's like, he old, dog. It like you just got at one point in time you kind of just got to hang it up and just be like, all right, dog, I did what I could do. It ain't too much more I can give to the people. Whatever they got out of me, that's all they gonna get out of me. So again, like I said, thoughts and prayers to Greg Popovich. And hopefully, realistically, he could get a not even. I mean, I'm sure he all right. I just don't think he. I mean, what would I if I was him? What am I coming back this year for? I don't got Wemby. Like, what would be my like?
No, it wouldn't be no. But
I just think I'm just saying, yeah, because for who he is, I do think that he deserves a proper send-off. Like, I don't think he one of them coaches to be like, oh, I'm done. He need just the same way people think LeBron need a farewell tour. I think Popovich deserve one. Yeah. I ain't saying you got to do every city, but I do think like for your big battles, like I think he should be able to get like a
and that's what I'm saying.
Versus Dallas, like him, that was a thing, like them in Dallas or maybe even Sacramento. It's like certain cities that he kind of really had real rivalries with, like the Lakers, and like it's just certain jumps that I feel like he should get the proper send off where it's like
and that's why I just said just to see him. Yeah. I think just to like if he did a press conference and say, hey, I'm retiring, this it, that health scare is enough for me. I can't do it no more. I'm fine with that. Just to see him and know he's, what I'm saying, just to actually, because like I said, we haven't seen him. And then to come to find out he had a mild stroke is kind of, what I'm saying, like, damn, like.
Oh, but he had that a minute ago, though.
Like the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was like November, like beginning of the season.
Yeah, that happened a minute ago to him.
I mean, like I said, he ain't been back since.
Let me play this little King Von jump before we get out of here. This
a rooftop. So this is why I refuse to talk to Chicago men. Like, Chicago men are completely off limits. I don't play. And we had like a rooftop. So I've always had this picture of Von and my.
I don't know. The music might be playing. I don't know this song. What it is they playing. But anyway, so basically, King Von, baby mom was like, she was out in the club or whatever the case may be, or a rooftop or whatever. Dude was trying to shoot a shot at her, and he was like. And I forgot how he just kind of came on to her. Basically was like, yeah, King Von, that's my man, whatever the case may be, blah, say, blah. And she basically was like, she played it off like, all right, yeah, whatever the case may be. Ain't act like she didn't really even know who he was. And then they kind of went into the conversation and the dude looked at her again and was like, oh, shit, this is his baby mother. The whole time she was like, all right, why you sitting here going around like this your man and you ain't even know who I was? Like, that shit that niggas be doing. I hate when niggas do that. Like, bro, stop. Like, and this man was dead and you still just trying to go around and kind of like claiming him for like no goddamn reason. It's kind of just like, it is out of pocket. Hold on.
Pretty enough for that? This is what I want every woman who is not looking for love or relationship, for every woman who only wants a man for the purposes of money, only wants a man who could take her out and take her on trips and take her to nice restaurants and buy her nice things. You're not looking for alignment. You're not looking for a relationship. You're not looking for a partnership. You just want a sugar daddy or a man with some bread. Are you pretty enough for that? Because, baby, these men are paying for something. So when you're putting yourself in this position, what is your face like? Is your body T or is it declining? Or are you in a recession, baby? What is it? Because women who are going after this lifestyle will tell you that you have to keep up with yourself. You have to be in some type of shape. Your face got to look like something. Your hair got to be done. Your nails got to be done. You can't have no days where you don't shave. Can't have no days when that pedicure not on point. Teeth got to be straight. Baby, are you in place for that? Because understand, the maintenance to just be the person who wants to be maintained is expensive. Is your life set up that way? So before you decide to pick up the sugar baby or whatever type of lifestyle, gold digger type of lifestyle, please understand that it comes with some type of prerequisite. And usually it's your looks. And does that match who you are? Stay safe. Are you?
Shout out to that queen. She ain't telling you that, but the God on the truth. Oh man! All right, yeah, I'm out here. This is my last joint. I should have played this joint way earlier in the episode. So I'm gonna play this clip real quick of this lady. It was this dude on his birthday. And I believe he was at like a CVS or a Walgreens with his girlfriend on his birthday. And it's I should have played this right after the Steve Smith shit because this shit go hand in hand.
This man was unalived on his birthday after he accused another man of staring at his girlfriend too hard. February 3rd, 2025, Anthony Souvenir here, aka Big Fetty, his girlfriend and their baby walked into a Walgreens when they noticed another man standing at the register. This man, Jamie Taylor, was there loading money on his Cash App card when the family walked in. Anthony saw him looking, so he yelled out, "Hey bro, you staring at her too fucking hard," which they had words, but it kind of died down. When Anthony walked away from the situation, he thought he overheard Jamie saying something to him, so he responded to it. Jamie tells him like, "Hey bro, I'm not fucking talking to you. I'm on the motherfucking phone, actually." But the argument picks up from there. Anthony then tells Jamie, like, hey, bro, I see you got one, I got one too, referring to his weapon that he could see on Jamie's waistband because that's where it was. At that point, Jamie actually put his hand on his weapon, but he didn't aim it at anybody. And when Jamie took his weapon out of his waistband, that's when Anthony started to reach for his bag. That's when Jamie fired the weapon, striking Anthony. And Anthony was able to chase him just for a little bit before he collapsed inside of the Walgreens, and he was later pronounced deceased. Jamie did flee the scene before police got there, but later returned and turned himself in, actually. Jamie is incarcerated and facing a 2nd-degree unalive charge, and he is being held without bond. This man really lost his life on his birthday over nonsense. May he rest in peace. And this is his last post on social media, posted on his birthday with the caption saying, "Life is too short not to smile."
Again, that's why, just to tie back into the Steve Smith thing, that's why I'm not mad at Steve Smith for the way he answered the phone. Bro, you do not understand how fragile the male ego is. Bro, you lost your life on your birthday trying to play Superman. Telling a nigga he looking at your girl, like, why? Listen to what I'm saying. Do not try to get you a bad bitch if you are not okay with niggas looking at her. Like, for you to feel like you was gonna go out your way and say something to a nigga because he ain't say nothing to your girl just because he was looking at your girl. You lost your life on your birthday. Bro, do you know how stupid that is? And that's, again, just that male ego, that pride. Sometimes you got to know when to put that shit to the side. And now, and for what it sounded like, they probably was, because if the dude turned himself in, 9 times out of 10, they somewhere in the open carry state, somewhere in the South. Because mostly, like, that was shit somewhere up in the upper east or the north and east. Niggas would have had to come and catch them. Like, you catch me when you can. I ain't turning myself in. So if the dude turned himself in, 9 times out of 10 is somewhere in the South. And if I kind of looking at the way this dude was dressed, I'm sure it was somewhere in the South. But again, rest in peace to him. But that's just the point of, like, bro, that male ego is so goddamn fragile, and niggas is so fucking stupid. Like, bro, damn, you got smoked on your birthday because a nigga was looking at your girl. Like, do you know how? Like, all right, man, I'm out of here, man. I'll holler at y'all next week, each and every Tuesday. Like, share, and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, like, share, and subscribe. Tell another friend to tell another friend. Each and every week, Vulture Podcast. So I'll holler at y'all next week.